Something else that's I wouldn't even say more lighthearted, but a bit different regarding Tarl Warwick, aka Sticks, Axe, and Hammer, to start out with, which it would be a nice. No, it's not nice because everything with him is really sad and disturbing. But I guess it's not Iran. Which
okay, hold on, Aiden,
so
you're
furious,
a professional,
bro.
right? Like you're a professional. When you look at Sticks, Axe, and Hammer, right? Like, would you consider him to be a wife beater? Like, do you think like he would hulk up and just like rough up a lady?
I mean, he doesn't look the type, right? Like, just in terms of his physique.
No.
But the state of Virginia disagrees.
Yes,
domestic battery. The domestic battery is what they call it. And so, I will actually tell you what I think happened, right? So, let me see if I can find the video first.
Yeah, and also give the rundown on that. Look, again, anything to talk about Iran, because once you get me going on it, it's not gonna stop, okay? I've got a lot to say about it, and I'm livid.
Okay, so please play this for your chat.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah.
Oh god, no.
Oh god, this. No, dude, I don't want to play this.
No, we need to start with this. We need to like, we need ground zero.
It's so cringe.
Okay.
It's so cringe.
We need ground zero. Right. I'll explain why it's actually important.
Do you have my screen share up, Ben?
Hold on. Yeah, I do now. I can't remember this as well. I remember you doing a video about this like years ago. Oh, it was so cringe. It just
has it been years? I guess so.
Yes.
Hey, this is my darling.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, it's the worst. I don't even think this is the woman he beat, is it?
Yes.
No.
She is the one. Yes, she is the one he clanked.
Ew.
Oh my god.
All right, let me now. Okay, let me explain what's going on because most people were unable to get past the superficial level, and I'll explain what happens in the mind of
the lethal level cringe. Right?
Okay, first of all, a lot of people were thinking that he is a creep and he's being creepy. It's like no, listen. These are both adults. They're in the same room. Like they probably fucked already. Okay, it's not about that. What this is about is the fact that he actually left his wife before, right? Like he had an argument with his wife, and he left. And he's
in the Netherlands.
He was living
in the Netherlands and they had a child.
They have a child, yes. And they were actually trying to make her jealous. And this chick was probably upset about that because she feels like a third wheel, right? Like she understands what Styx is trying to do here. Like he is trying to get
it's pretty obvious when you put it that way, yeah.
He's trying to get his wife, which is probably watching the stream, because like this one had like 3,000 viewers or something. It was during the debates with Kamala Harris and Trump. And he's basically like trying to show his wife that, look at what you've lost, woman. Now this chick, she gets like really angry. She's just like, what the fuck? Like I'm not going to be used. And she starts drama. Right? Like, not in the stream, like, afterwards. Starts drama, and they talk about, like, all the mystical shit, like, she has
this is the woman who posts on Kiwi Farms with who's, like, also really into the occult or whatever. Is that her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like, again, like, she felt betrayed, right? Like, she felt used. Used. It's like, she thought that with her personality, she managed to attract Tarl Warwick, but in reality, she was being used as a leverage to get back at his wife.
No, that's not Tarl Warwick. He's been possessed by the demon Stola.
So Tarl actually writes a lot about the occult, and many people thought that, it's just like an academic study type of thing. Kind of like I'm making a video game with succubis, but like, at least I know that the succubi are fake. Like, they're a figment of my imagination, right?
Oh, see, you took the fun out of it that way.
but like Tarl genuinely, unironically, beyond the shadow of a doubt, believes in the demonic. Like he is like a Christian in the dark side, if you will, right? Like he accepts the cosmology. It's just he doesn't accept that God is the one he needs to worship. And so he has conjured an entity from the Netherrealm by the name of Stolas. This is
Stolas is one of the princes of hell.
He's one of the princes of hell. Yes. Yes, he dabbles with alchemy and astrology, usually appears in the shape of an owl or the shape of a wolf. And so Styx has blinded.
And if you watch Has-Been Hotel.
Yes, if you watch, no, not Has-Been Hotel, Hell of a Boss.
Hell of a Boss,
Hell of a Boss, yes, he is a character there, right, homosexual. I do not know if Yeah, I do not know if the actual Stolas that Styx has binded himself into a Faustian bargain with is also homosexual, but Styx is now a warlock. Like he has made pacts with demonic entities, and so when he threw his smartphone, right, he threw it at the bed, but it actually ricocheted from the bed and hit this lovely lady in the face. And a lot of people believe that this is Stolas's work.
Well, didn't he also claimed at one point that something happened? There was like a natural disaster or something that caused one of his court cases.
Yes. Okay. So the chaos magic incident.
Right. Okay. See, you've got this all like in much greater order than I do.
I'm a Styxtorian at this point. So the trick shot that he had with his smartphone hit her in the face, caused her to bleed out. She then called the cops, and he got arrested for domestic battery, right? Like, all of a sudden, when he calls people clankers, kind of spins differently. But, he gets to jail, and in jail, he has a really bad time, because most people that are in a jail setting for any type of sex crimes or crimes against women, they don't fare very well, right? And so he probably got pressed by some of the individuals there, and he was rescued by the Quartery, right? Like, the Quartery came with his mantle and bailed Styx out from the prison.
I forgot that the Quartering, who is also not having a good time, was the one who bailed Styx out, right?
You're going to have to tell me about the Quartery, because look, there's only so many content creators that I can follow.
Oh, he's been having a rough go of it for a long time, my guy. Oof.
I see. But he gets out of jail, and his prosecutor, the one that prosecutes this case, ends up blowing his brains out. Like, this is legit, right? Like,
that's what it was.
Yeah,
right.
Like, it's in the news. It's everywhere, right? Like, Tarl's prosecutor, not related to the case, mind you, like, just committed suicide. And then Styx makes a video in which he implies that chaos magic may have been responsible. He explains how chaos magic, you channel it towards someone and bad things happen, right?
I mean, you do have to be honest, that is a crazy coincidence.
He performed this magical ritual, not once but twice. The first time it was against his prosecutor, in which case, like, you gotta wonder, like, wow, Styx, like, that's pretty satanic shit. Like, you're telling me the guy was just doing his job, right? Like, he just got a case on his table with domestic battery, like, he's just, like, prosecuting that, and you think, like, death is the sentence. Like, wow, Okay, buddy, like, sure, never get upset with me, though, because I didn't do nothing. But the second time, there was a snowstorm. I think it was coming to where Styx lives, and he caused the chaos magic, like an environmental spell, and moved that storm over to Virginia, where he's being prosecuted.
That was it. That was the natural disaster caused. Right. Now,
yes.
Look, hang on. It's stacking up in Styx's in the favor of chaos magic, power of Stolas. I'm just saying.
I'm not going to fuck with them. It's true. Like, I mean, if you can.
I mean, like, now he's on the run though. Now he's wanted by the law. So he's very dangerous. Doesn't matter if he's armed with guns or not. He's got chaos magic. Bro. I think the Harry Potter magical system doesn't apply here. It's more like the Witcher magical system, where if you cast magic, like, eventually you have to pay a price. And I think, like, maybe Stolas is coming to collect. Yeah, I think when you mess around with the Ars Goetia type shit, demon summoning, there's always a pretty high price to that stuff.
It's the Conjuring third.
It's not like.
Oh, what's that one really? I love that one film about it where it's actually quite accurate to, like, how you summon an angel. I can't remember the name of it. It's a horror film. It's excellent. But I can't think of the name of it right now. However, that whole point of that film is that, like, you have to go through insane the Abramelin ritual or condition or whatever it's called. Sequence. That's Abramelin sequence.
Yeah.
Don't fuck around with demons. Whether or not you believe in them, I think it's probably just a good bet not to fuck around with something you think is a demon.
But anyway, right? So he manages to avoid the judicial system that year. Unfortunately, he gets himself into more predicaments. Apparently, the girl contacted him, even though he had the restraining order. Like, she had the restraining order against him. She contacts him and basically says that she wants to self-delete, and I have to say self-delete because YouTube, and I can't say suicide. But she then says this to Tarl, and he actually goes over to her to save her, right? And apparently, like, the judge actually ruled in his favor and said, yeah, okay, fine. Like, in this situation, like, she is the one that's on violation, blah, blah, blah. However, it was still, like, the police having an eye on him. And then, like, for some reason, he discharged a firearm accidentally. And that, mixed with the domestic battery, mixed with what he had previously, that, I think, is what's getting him into trouble with the law now. And there's a warrant for his arrest.
Well, yeah, he wasn't allowed to have guns. And then his girlfriend called the cops on him because he shot off a firearm. We did play that on stream a couple weeks ago, the arrest footage, because he's dressed as a fucking pirate when they arrested him. It's insane. This is the craziest clip.
That is his YouTube attire.
Yeah, but he was just hanging out around his house dressed as a pirate too. He dresses like that all the time, I guess.
But maybe he just finished the video.
Yeah,
like, honestly, maybe putting that makeup on. I mean, you're a woman. You probably know how difficult it is.
That's true, and I did just record a bunch of videos like on camera the other day, so I'd have makeup on and costume. Not an elaborate costume.
do you think like he has like 3 or 4 costumes because like he has to wash them?
It's the same stuff. No, like I can tell it's the same gear. And does it have? Did you ever do LARP or?
Never.
There's not like Ren fairs.
Never. I'm not cringe. No.
Okay, well in the U.S. Hey, Tommy Mark. I'm going to be on with Tommy Mark this Friday.
See, this is actually a good question. Why does he need a gun? Can't he do magic?
Right. Yeah.
It's a good question, actually.
You know what I would do? I would like put a demon in a box, and then I would agitate the box to anger the demon, and then throw the box at whoever pissed his mouth.
Was it Nostalgia Critic who had the magic gun? Where did he get? Where did he obtain that?
Maybe magic doesn't work that way. Like magic needs to take. It's like you cast a curse, and then you have to wait like an hour or so, and when the demon is 1 hour away, and the bad guys are just like seconds away, you need a gun.
Right. So my understanding of all of this stuff is that Tarl's got a severe, it's like alcohol addiction. I have been pretty severely addicted to alcohol in my life, and I've never done any of this kind of shit. So I don't know if it's just booze.
You've never summoned demons in a drunken fit?
No.
Well done, you're normal.
I would summon a succubus, I'm telling you. Like, if
okay,
you can
see, that's what I was saying when you were like, not like my game, which you're not. Okay, but see, you're admitting you would summon a
if they were real. Listen. If they were real, right? Like, that's different. But, like, I know they're not. And I don't believe in the mystical. I'm not into mysticism. But, like, if they were real, sure, why not?
Oh, it was Lankara who had the magic gun. Yeah. Where did he appear?
And then I want to mindfuck her and say I just want to hold hands.
My God. Well, that's the Styx update.
Yeah.
Which is, I honestly feel bad because I would say this about, well, Spoon, you I think agree with me on this. But back in the day, Styx did used to have pretty consistently good takes on politics and was quite accurate at a lot of the predictions he would make. Yeah.
He had one of the biggest live streams on YouTube at the point, I remember.
He had like 100,000 people watching him during one of the elections, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy.
I know it's that much, but it was in the tens of thousands.
I thought it was...
No, it was like really big. I don't know exactly the number, but like I remember it was like one of the biggest live streams that I seen. It was during the second Trump debate. Like during the
was it a debate? Yeah. Well, no, that he had a huge stream. Who's worse, Razor Fist or Styx? Here's the thing: Styx it has got a whole other set of issues covered. Razor Fist, I think right now it is just coming repeatedly because he is living his neocon.
Yes.
Yeah, he's never been so happy as for Donald Trump to start a war with Iran at direct behest of Netanyahu. That's a great thing. I don't have any of Razor Fist's horrific takes on this, but I was in my
scroll through his fucking X. My God,
just scroll through it and you'll see it. He's ecstatic there, and I'll show you some other people who are ecstatic. People like Randy Fine, like of course Ben Shapiro. They're very ecstatic about this. Nobody else is. although you wouldn't know that if you look at Twitter, speaking about the Iran stuff, the state of fucking Twitter right now, for the past half a week, has been unused. The number of bots, and the thing that's interesting too, right, is that I have some friends who are, let's say, okay, I'm not trying to be rude, but more politically normie brained, and so they are very pro war in Iran because we're
Aiden is saying a lot of her friends are retards.
Saying a lot of people aren't politically brained and fall for the propaganda.
Oh my goodness, look at the irony of this. The first thing I see when I open my Twitter is one of Razorfist tweets.
See, I'm more like I'm for the war in Iran because it destabilizes Russia. I don't know about God and Israel and like democracy and shit.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't fucking care about your fucking prophecy and how you have to go destroy Amalek. And by the way, if there is... I heard AA say this in one of his videos on it, and I think it's absolutely true. And I'll go through the whole list here today. We'll go through the whole thing. I don't, he's gonna have to leave us in a while, but I'll start going through it. I got all of it together. And I heard AA say the same thing, which is that if this is not actually about the prophecy of crushing Amalek to bring about fucking Armageddon, then I don't know what the fuck it is about. Because this is a fucking disaster. It is so uncoordinated, seemingly spur of the moment, unplanned, unprepped, with no idea what the off-ramp is. And the reason that you would do something with no off-ramp and no future is if you think God's gonna return, right?
See, the thing is, like, I don't get this with the Protestants, but like, I always thought that the end of the world is not a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like if you can delay it, that's better. Like, why would you want to just? Yeah,
because Jesus returns, and that means we get raptured and all go to heaven, is what the Christians would believe. But the Zionist Jewish interpretation, like the hardline Jewish interpretation, is that's the day when all nations of the world bow down to Israel, when they have complete control. Right? That's Bibi Netanyahu's read of it. So why
does it work that way? Like, it's anyone that understands geopolitics know that it's physically impossible. It's not even desirable because, like, if every nation bows to Israel, then every time something bad happens, like whether it's a famine, whether it's a disease, whether it's an uprising, people will blame Israel. It's like
I don't know. We're not far off from that now. Actually, interrupt with super chats while you're still here, V, because I know you're doing your stream too. But I do want to read this one. Hey, go on, for €5 says, "Hello, Goyam. I wanted to donate 30 euros to promote this Iranian Liberation Fund. I get a 37% share of the proceeds, so 10 euros is an acceptable loss. He donates 5 euros. Thank you, Tater Chip.
The one that I got says DJ Trump says no more wars. However, he never said anything about a special military operation.
Well, okay,
that
let's
is
talk
literally
about
how somebody's fucking.
You know what? That's the first thing I have is, like, look at this. Okay. This is Trump's announcement of the special military operation. The Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, may have casualties. That often happens in, what's this word? War. That often happens in war. We're like 4 days into this, and the propaganda machine has moved so quickly on it that, depending on the time of day, it is not a war, or it is a war, or it's a special military operation, or we're headed towards war, but we won't know until Congress votes on it. But it is the biggest.
Do you think Congress will vote on it? Do you think Congress
they not
will
yet.
vote on it? No. But like when the vote comes up, like, do you think it will pass? Or
to be clear, this is a bipartisan issue. There are both the left and the right in American politics in DC are for this. Yes, they're on these payrolls and they're for it. Yeah. To be fair, this is why Donald Trump was elected, in my opinion. This is why he was allowed to be elected after all of the why he was, as we've been talking about here for years on Broken. Why he was cycled in is because if Kamala had done this, there would have been more significant pushback, and there wouldn't have been that kind of intense, religious-esque, cult-like base for Kamala Harris as there is for Donald Trump, who will support it no matter what. And if you have not noticed why people called MAGA a cult within this last week, I hope you do now.
Do you think that Christianity is going to notice another drop in attendance after this?
Why? Because they're all dead?
No, like the cringe. Like I just saw a woman like quoting Revelation in front of the cameras. Acting like AOC, bouncing up and down while saying stuff about how the Lord wants America to just kill the infidels, And I'm like, okay, well, do you think like Zoomers watch that and enjoy it, or do they watch that and they're like, I don't want to be associated with that lady?
But yeah, that's probably the more likely one.
Because I don't know, like there are Zoomers that are like legitimately becoming more religious, but like their religion is more like on Discord. It's kind of like sharing Jesus memes and cracking down on degenerates type of religion. Like they're not,
their religion is more based on order.
Yeah,
they're not into the mystical thing, right? They're not into the literal interpretation of the Bible.
The weird, cringy, mystical stuff is more on the left because it's more sort of feminine coded. I mean, not sort of. The left, left politics is feminine. So
she looks identical to AOC. Let's play her for let's play her for the stream so that people know who we're talking about, right? It's the White House. What did I call her?
What is
White House faith officer.
Oh, the woman who's like screaming?
Yeah, let's play her a little bit.
Hang on, I think clip.
Also,
unfortunately I don't know where. I have a lot of stuff.
I posted it.
Okay.
Yeah. Where did you post it? Because I can't see it.
I'll try again too.
I do have it. I know.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that bitch is fucking crazy.
Yes, sorry.
I just watched it on mute. I never unmuted it just because I can tell what she's doing.
Oh, dude, it's awful. Here, I'll go ahead
and play it.
And strike 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 until you have victory. For every enemy that is aligned against you, let there be that we would strike the ground, for you will give us victory, God.
Are you asking if she's having a seizure? Because it seems like that, doesn't it?
Yes, that's kind of what I was going to ask.
Abundance of rain. I hear a sound of victory. I hear a sound of shouting and singing. I hear a...
If there's one reason I like the Orthodox Church more than anyone else, it's because they don't allow women in their ministries.
Yeah, based.
Which is absolutely based, and with this kind of shit, I can see why. Because what kind of person
be anywhere near the priesthood?
Or power, for that matter, because it's just...
True.
My God.
This is why the Orthodox say that the Protestants are heretics. I mean,
I agree.
I mean, I agree. and particularly after this last... And look, I'm not... My family's all Protestant.
Yeah, same with mine.
I have nothing against... in principle. But the fact that they do shit like this, it's one, cringe.
It's unhinged,
two, gay, and three...
It's boomer coded.
It's inherently boomer coded, right?
Yeah. Victory. I hear a sound.
Apparently, it's in 2023 that she's doing this, so it's.
Is this old?
I mean, yeah. So Carl Zappos critiques Donald Trump's 2025 appointment of televangelist Paul Whitecade as senior advisor to the White House, sharing a 2023 clip of her preaching spiritual warfare against demonic forces as emblematic of extreme religious influence in U.S. policy.
There's a lot of demons on this stream tonight. We start out with sticks, and then. Unfortunately, there are a lot of demons involved in.
I mean, I'd like to see her go and do this in Tel Aviv.
One of them. Okay? These kind of people.
Are we going to get the people that speak in tongues back? I really love those people.
Oh, they're still around. They've never gone away.
The ones that go like, the Lord is going to conquer Iran in the name of Jesus with our Lord and Savior. You know? Like I miss them. Like they were so fucking awesome.
Oh, I grew up with them. My neighbor right across the street from me when I was growing up was a Pentecostal minister, and he not only spoke in tongues, but I was best friends with his daughter, and he not only spoke in tongues, but they were snake handlers. So you went to, and they had like their church was in a mall in a whole part of the mall that was no longer in business because it's Western. There's no business there, so they just bought up like half of this mall. And had an enormous compound with like, it was really, as a kid, it was really fun because they had like a whole play place set up like biblical era, here's Noah's Ark and that kind of stuff. Really fun if you're, 7. Insane if you're an adult to be going there and watching someone pull a snake out of a hat and go and say mumbo jumbo at it. Like, shit was nuts. They're still around doing that. They never stop.
I also grew up with them, actually. Looking back at it now.
Apparently, the reason they speak in tongues is because the New Testament,
and the devil can understand you.
Yeah,
listen, the Acts of the Apostles, right? The story says that the apostles suddenly spoke in languages they have never learned, and people from many regions, including the Egyptians, Romans, had each heard their own language in that version. So when they go like, like they genuinely believe that, I guess, like the Romans would understand them, or that the Egyptians would.
It's a language from somewhere. You see, I don't know what the modern excuse for it is, because you can just translate everything instantaneously, pretty much. So I'm guessing it's that it's a language from another time or it's a language from another planet. I don't know. These people are lunatics. Not all of them, by the way. Not all evangelicals are, but like
most of them.
And Trump has very much, and the MAGA movement in the United States has very much clung to this evangelical stuff. You saw it a lot with the sort of post Charlie Kirk mourning that was the Charlie Kirk funeral. A perfect example of big church evangelical stuff. And Trump was talking not too long ago about how he thought, and he said it repeatedly about how he's like, I don't think I'm going to heaven. I don't think I'm going to the bad place. And when you think about that, it makes maybe more sense.
Every single president of the US, like it's impossible. Like if the Bible were to be true, every single president of the United States, like there would be not a single one that's clean. Like you need to order drone strike on civilians. You need to make executive orders that aren't very pious. You know, you need to deal with corruption.
I mean, according to reports, about 200 children. Hospitals have been attacked.
Yeah.
And children have been killed, and including the entire family of the Ayatollah.
I mean, to be fair, though, like, listen. It's the Middle East. Like, they put hospitals there in such a way so you can't drone strike anything without hitting one.
But not in Iran, I don't think. Not in the way that you do see some of that other stuff. Iran is that's what people really need to be wary of with this, is that Iran is not Iraq. Iran is not Afghanistan. Yeah. Iran is
ancient.
The Persians are one of the oldest I think at this point, they probably are the oldest contiguous civilization that is around today. And there have been a lot of changes to who the Iranian people are, a lot of Arab admixture, but they're not Arabs. They're Caucasian.
Would you say they're more like German?
Persia is way older than Germany. Thousands of years older.
On this channel,
no, not older, but would you say they're like the Germans?
In what sense?
In what sense?
I mean, if you go to Frankfurt, you see a lot of women covered up, just like you see in Iran. So I think like it's.
Well,
and they're also
remember that. Here. Okay, so we'll get to it too, but
the dictatorship as well. You know the fascism.
But why do you find women that are covered up today in Iran when if you go and look at videos and photos from 70s and 60s in Iran, you wouldn't have seen that. You would have seen women who were uncovered.
Yeah, what did the Muslim Brotherhood that managed to take over?
And why did that happen?
Because the CIA has funded that in order to fight the Soviets.
Uh-huh. Yes. Because the CIA directly
and they fucking fucked the Soviets! They put their fucking CIA cock and they fucked the Soviet system so fucking bad. How can you not be proud to be American? Look what you did to the world.
What specifically happened was that in 1953...
I'm not proud.
In 1953, Iran elected a socialist of the country. And and one of the first things he did was he nationalized oil. That was a big no-no in 1953. So the CIA and MI6 staged a coup called Operation Ajax, under which they installed the Shah, who is the monarch who, you know, you might see people saying, the Iranians want to bring back the Shah. Well, when they're calling to bring back the Shah, they're talking about bringing back a monarch who was installed...
That is cocked by the fucking Americans. That is not a king.
Who was installed by the United States. So why we, Stephen and I, as monarchists, are not like big supporters of the Shah.
If you're an actual Chad king, you tell Uncle Sam to go shove his head up his fucking ass.
It is because Aiden, the Shah is beat back by the U.S.
Let me explain something to you.
CIA
let me explain something to you. Right? If you're the CIA, like I'm the CIA now. I work with the cards that are given to me, okay? Like, if you have a country where the choices are communists or radical, pious people, you know, I can't bring the Uncle Sam there. I can't bring the democracy. I'm going to work with the fucking Allah guy because he's going to fuck those communists and he's going to unnationalize the oil. This is one of the things that many nations around the world don't understand. It's like, yes, if you're a communist, you can steal shit. You can't steal shit from the Americans. The moment you nationalize...
Well, hang on. Yeah, you can, but...
Somalia is doing a great job.
I don't think even Israel has nationalized American companies. Have they? Have they seized an oil company that belongs to America, and Israel would say, like Benjamin Netanyahu would say, we're going to kick off the Americas, where it's ours now.
It's really hard to say that Israel has not. I think it's at a greater level than that.
I don't
Israel
think they
has
need to because they
seized
control
the American government.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine. That you can seize the American government. You cannot
that's
seize.
That is not fine.
Listen, I'm looking at how they're acting. Okay, like I'm looking at how America is acting. You can seize the American government. You can seize whatever the fuck you want. You cannot seize the oil tankers. You cannot. Like, the moment any nation decides, you know what, we're going to get socialist, we're going to nationalize the oil extractor, you're done. You have the CIA funding whomever is against you. Doesn't matter if they're fascist, if they're Nazis, like, whatever the fuck. They're going to put money in those guys. They're going to kill you, and then they're going to install a dictatorship.
I mean...
Had you left the oil alone, had you left the oil tanker alone, none of this would have happened.
I mean, doesn't Russia have nationalization of oil and gas?
Isn't Russia being currently attacked by the Americans in a proxy war with Ukraine?
Well, yes. Right. Well, okay,
yes.
That's another one. I do want to go over, and I will in more detail, all of the kind of copes about this war, which is a war. By Trump's own words, it is a war. You can cope about it all you like, but one of the things is that, okay, well, it's all right because we are doing it to actually attack Russia and China. And this is about actually, it has nothing to do with Iran, really. It has everything to do with China. The interesting thing about that is that the Strait of Hormuz is closed, but not to China. So China can still get oil from the Gulf states. It's everybody else, and Russia can still get oil through the Strait of Hormuz. They're not blocking their ships.
Russia.
Right. The fact of the matter is that the Gulf states are still fully engaged in trade with Russia and China. So if the point was to cripple China by blocking their access to oil via the Strait of Hormuz, that's not happened. And particularly, I think that was part of the plan by then, because of course what happened was that Iran attacked the other Gulf state, or the Gulf state, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi.
Aiden, is your microphone set to voice activation by any chance?
Yeah, is it? Oh, it must be real low. Sorry.
Yeah, that's why.
Sorry, I saw people saying that. I had to turn it.
I couldn't hear you. I was
sorry.
Yeah, the sensitivity is too low.
Is it better now?
Well, if you speak and it doesn't cut out, I'll tell you.
Hello? Is it better now?
Yes, there we go.
Okay. Sorry about that. I had to turn it up because the other day I was talking to somebody and Bill was playing D&D downstairs and was getting very energetic. So I had to set the sensitivity up because it was coming in through over my mic. Sorry, I thought
you suppressed your voice.
I mean, it's always them, isn't it? It was another Jewish operation.
It's always them. They are the problem with everything.
I'll restate what I was saying, which is that if this was to attack China, to prevent China from buying oil from the Gulf states, well, that's not happening because the Strait of Hormuz is still open to the Chinese and to the Russians. So I'm not sure how this is massively negatively affecting China.
I can tell you, the United States is not at war with China. Right?
No,
but they want the option. They want the option that if America ever, let's say China takes Taiwan or some shit, and America actually tries to boycott, they have the option on the table now.
Mm-hmm.
As for Russia, they want to control the prices. That's what America usually does. Like, they want to sell oil very cheaply on the market so that it bankrupts Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Lenny says, Aiden, you can dislike both the Ayatollah and Israel. Well, I'll tell you why you do have to rank these things, though. And I'll tell you one thing you should be aware of is that the entire reason Iran wasn't developing nukes, which has been confirmed by every single international agency at this point, is because the Ayatollah put a fucking fatwa on it. He had a religious decree not to develop nukes. You killed that guy. Now what?
Just really dumb.
I mean, it wasn't about nukes. Like this is another thing.
No, we know.
It's another WMDs in Iraq. WMDs in Iraq. All fucking over again.
No, like what's worse than a nuke is a terror weapon that you can use drones with dirty bombs. So like you literally,
True.
it's cheaper, you don't, right? And so anyone that understands geopolitics like knew that. So if you have a nuke though, like what do you do with it? You know, you said that
It's
you
just
get
a
200
deterrent,
back.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And also,
I mean, at this point, though, like, with that, I brought it up because that's one of the narratives that has been collapsing, like, repeatedly, because if you don't, people apparently forgot that the White House claimed last summer that the United States military, in a big strike operation, destroyed all of Iran's nuclear capabilities.
yeah, it was in June, I think.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So,
My knowledge is that Rubio said recently that the reason they attacked is because Iran is weak, and this is a great moment.
that is what he said
yes.
after he said we attacked because of Israel.
Also,
that too. It's basically like Israel was going to attack, and so we attack first, so we don't lose American lives.
Well,
Also,
he switched. He flipped, and then he denied that he said that.
okay,
But
so
I think like
here's
both
the
of them.
thing.
I think both of them can be
Sorry,
true.
Spin, go ahead.
Do either of you watch Brian Valetic?
Who?
Okay,
No.
yeah, you should look him up on New Atlas.
Is it that dog from? Is it that dog from Family Guy, the white dog?
No, that's Brian.
Oh, but yeah, didn't you
Yeah,
say like
yeah,
I
but
watched Brian?
Yeah, but he's not. His surname is not Valetic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, right. Of all the analysts, he's probably the best one of like the last 3 years as far as America's foreign policy goes. And he just reads papers from like 2003. And he just says like, this is America's foreign policy regardless of whoever's in power for like 20 years is basically where it's going. And he reads papers and he says when it comes to Iraq or to Iran rather.
Did you send me that? Did you send me one of his videos?
Yes, earlier today. That's the one I actually wanted to look at.
I did watch that video then, yes. I did watch that.
He actually points
Fantastic.
out... Yes, he points out that the way America is gonna... The next thing they're gonna do is to push for regime change. But the way it works now is they detail like how they're gonna push this to the public. Is they're hoping to bait Iran into attacking first. Because Iran has no reason to attack the United States. At all. Because it's not in their strategic interest. So they're openly telling you Iran will never attack us because why the hell would they? And they're openly saying that the reason why they're doing this is because it is a lot more difficult to sell to the American public if they are seen as the bad guy, not Iran. So it's like they're openly telling you this is the plan. Yeah, so if it looks like it's completely insane and it doesn't make any sense.
What's the policy in general? Like after they do regime change in Iran, like what next?
But it's not regime change, but it is. Oh my god, one of the most annoying things. Pete Hegseth, and I'll play this later.
But you see,
Pete Hegseth said,
hold on a second.
We didn't come into this to do regime change. We changed the regime, but it's not regime change. Oh my god, I hate these people so much.
But like, what is the goal? Like this is what let's say that it's
to install a puppet that is friendly to the United States.
Okay, right.
And in that case, in this particular case, the puppet that is friendly to the United States will be Pahlavi, the monarch.
Right.
But
So like, what
Trump
happens
said he's not a
after?
fan.
Like what? No, listen. What happens after? Like after they deal with Iran, like what's the next play?
Well,
Who
I
the
can
hell
tell you
knows?
what Lindsey Graham says it is. It's going to be Turkey, and then Cuba, and then Lebanon. Just so far on the short list.
It's basically like a gigantic. We're just going to Americanize the entire world, which I
How is Turkey
against.
upsetting? How is Turkey upsetting America's interest? Like it's in NATO. That one is going to be really.
Yeah,
difficult.
I know. Try to make
because-
sense. Yeah, Turkey's in fucking NATO, and Lindsey Graham is out here
Turkey-
saying we're going after
so-
Turkey next.
Okay, so the reason for Turkey is because Turkey is a vital component in Revelations, but it's
it also
Constantinople.
has.
So that would be the reason why.
Well,
Okay,
currently
and if
what
they
the
get
United-
all like let's hypothetically assume they get Turkey, they get Lebanon, they get all of them. Like what then?
And the way that they're going to do that, which
Jesus
again
comes,
seems to
apparently.
be a post facto thinking, although it's yet to be seen, is by what the United States is currently like openly talking about. Although again, if this were actually planned and not retarded, they would have already done this, which is arming the Kurds, because the Kurdish people are all over this entire region, and I think part of the plan, both in Iran and in Turkey, is going to involve a mass armament of the Kurds. Don't get that shit twisted. The United States has, the CIA in particular, has betrayed the Kurds before. If they fall for this shit, they're retarded too.
So
Also-
basically, you're saying that this is like the ritual of divine summoning, like with the corpses
Yes,
and the
essentially.
blood of the Middle East, you summon Jesus.
Yeah. And also, I could be wrong, but
Well, not Jesus.
As far as I'm aware, in order for the prophecy to be fulfilled, Turkey and Russia will invade Tel Aviv.
Yeah. So they need all of these weird things to happen.
I don't see Russia and Turkey invading like Israel anytime soon.
I don't think like Russia has anything to invade with.
That's actually the thing, is that currently, many Western powers, Russia's depleted because of the war with Ukraine. The United States and Israel, but particularly the United States, is already depleted. Our munitions are. I've lived here too long. Our munitions have already run out, and that's in large part because the interceptor missiles that the U.S. uses cost $1 million each. The drones that they are blocking with these interceptor missiles cost $10,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like my understanding is that when a missile becomes really old, you want to use it anyway, because otherwise it's actually more expensive.
But these aren't old missiles. This is modern, modern active military technology that the United States is deploying. Again, $1 million per missile against Iran, which has a massive stockpile of these.
They're basically going to McDonald's
cheaper drones. To the point that the U.S. is now pulling its munitions out of strategic locations in Asia. In Korea, away from Korea, and China is monitoring the situation. So in fact, if this is again about stopping China, China is currently watching the United States pull its munitions out of their locked place aimed at China.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why they want the oil to China to continue flowing, because if they upset China right now, they get caught with their pants down.
What this is going to do, realistically, the U.S. is already really displaying extreme weakness in this, not only because of the schizophrenic nature and incoherent nature of it, but because, again, they are pulling out munitions and strategic locations in East Asia, which means that opens up Taiwan to be invaded by China.
I don't think China will invade Taiwan.
Yeah,
I hope not.
Either.
I also don't think it will happen, but it does open it up. And if you are someone who's worried about Taiwan getting invaded by China, well, this now leaves Taiwan very strategically open. Just putting it out there. If it happens, just saying.
I mean, if they invade Taiwan, they already have like plans to destroy all of the chip making factories, and not to mention like due to Taiwan,
nudge those factories, they get destroyed because of the environments.
They
have to be.
And it's also the importance of Taiwan in world trade. Like China would piss off literally every single nation on the planet. Like everybody would get pissed off. Now, not everybody would attack them, but like the consequences would be banks would stop dealing with them. You would have like industry moving out of China even more than now. No one would people would not do business with someone else that does business with someone else that does business with China.
Well, that actually raises a good question. But hang on. Who would you rather do business with at this point? Would you rather do business with China, or would you rather do business with the United States, who is in the process of peace negotiation deals with Iran when they sprung this attack and not only killed the Ayatollah, but his entire family and every single person that even Trump, by his own admission, was thinking about as a possible replacement, and then tell me it's not regime change. Trump had people picked out to be the replacement for the Ayatollah and then killed them on accident.
Trump flat out said that he's doing regime change.
I know, but there's a cope cycle on Twitter where people go, it's not regime change.
Oh, it's regime change.
It's a strategic operation that we're doing from the sky. Bruh,
okay,
remember, no boots on the ground. Okay, maybe boots on the ground. Okay, probably boots on the ground. Just wait.
We don't talk with those people. I don't think there will be boots on the ground, to be honest.
Maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe not.
It's a really big country, and I don't think like the American public would stomach it, especially not so close to midterms, and especially.
I don't think the American public has any say in it.
Yeah,
and I don't think it has anything to do with them, honestly.
I don't know, like, the war in Vietnam was actually lost with the American television. I think, like, if you piss off the public long enough, but, like, you actually have to piss off the normies, the ones that are salivating right now on Twitter. If you piss them off, I think...
Oh, that's the thing. They're right now, the normies are ecstatic. And I have to say, I hate to say this, but one of them is fucking Jim, Mr. Medicare. I've been disgusted by some of the posts I've seen him make on Twitter about this. And
Jim is full of neocon energy.
Aiden, listen, Aiden.
I love Jim. He's the funniest motherfucker on the internet, but this is crazy.
Aiden, your president fucked 3 nations before it's even March, okay? if I was American, I would have had a big dick. Okay, like if I don't care if it's for the Jews. If it's for the Jews, then maybe the Jews deserve it. You know, like if you fuck 3 nations, three fucking nations in 1 year,
No.
bro.
Three nations,
No.
I'm looking at the numbers. The ability to press a button and just delete a world leader. Like knowing that my country can do that.
Easy. And in fact, I think that the whole Venezuela thing, which by the way, as we've reported on, and as we called week of when it happened, was the whole point of this is so that Venezuela will trade oil to the Israelis, which happened the next week after the coup or whatever you want to call it, after taking out Maduro, was that the situation in Venezuela is not comparable to the situation in Iran. Iran does not have a centralized, even though they had the cleric, the Ayatollah, it's a bunch of different factions who all have power, and they are intentionally decentralized because Iran has been preparing for this exact scenario for the past 50 years.
Yeah, it's almost like if you tell people we're going to attack you.
Wife?
Well, what did happen with his wife? I don't know.
I don't know, like it's in America. Why is she being charged with? He just took his wife as well.
No, V's not getting $7,000. No, we're allowed to have a discussion on that. Oh, because there's I know
$7,000. What do I need to do?
Shill and say this. Okay, there's claims.
Who's paying me? Like I want 3,500. Yeah, give me 3.5 first, and 3.5 later. I'll shill, no problem.
Look, I certainly took about that amount of money from Israel by shilling Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh my God! Yes. Do you know they wouldn't let me do it? Like they said I'm from because I'm from Romania, and they were like, no, we don't want people outside of.
Really?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It is. I would
fucking
chill for Raid Shadow Legends.
They let me do it here from Guernsey. I don't know. That's weird.
Enthusiastic, yeah.
I will only shill for something that I actually bought and enjoyed.
Look, I would have wanted to be with Betty. You know when you have like all those TikTokers sitting at a table with Betty. Like I wanted to be there, and like Betty would be like, "Oh, you need to say this and that," and I'm like, "That's very interesting. How much are you paying me?" And after that, I would have said this and that. Like,
God damn it, V.
Look, there is it. Okay, I will take Israeli money to shill for a mobile game. I will never take Israeli money to shill for anything fucking political. And I am disgusted because it certainly appears, and I think it's kind of like a feedback loop where on Twitter in particular, Twitter is totally fake because it's full of bots. And what happens is the bots create a narrative of consensus. Everybody feels this way because the vast number of people responding to it. And then real people fall for that shit and they go, well, everybody feels this way, so I should feel this way too. And it's really insidious. It's next generation, whatever, 4th generation warfare in a way, information warfare. And I think there's going to be a hell of a lot of people who are going to have a shit ton of egg on their face in 6 months. And are going to pretend like everything that they have said over the past week, they never said. My God, Spoon, have you looked at James Lindsay's feed?
No,
my sister in Christ, like we already been through the pandemic.
I know, we've been through
how
it.
We've seen how people react when it's like, oh, you need to vaccinate them, you need to put them in prison to save grandma. If a single person is not vaccinating, they're killing us, they're killing us. And then like literally Putin invades Ukraine.
And then 2 years later be like, I never said anything like that. I'm innocent. I didn't do anything.
It's not even that. Like Putin invades Ukraine. And all of a sudden, we must take all of those people that may be infested with COVID in! All of them! Bring them in! And it's like, wait, hold on, like, wait.
I mean, the shit people are saying right now is so fucking insane. And I do want to again call out fucking Captive Dreamer for being the worst poster on Twitter.
Who is Captive Dreamer?
Yes. Don't worry about
nemesis.
it. You know what? I'm on board with the Captive Dreamer Nemesis arc. Fuck him, dude. He makes me another person, by the way. And I asked him, he didn't respond to me. I think because he's very busy.
Casey.
But I did ask Luke Rutkowski to come on. I think he's quite busy dealing with this. Because once again, I mentioned Luke when we were giving out the Fell for It Again awards regarding Venezuela. And I said, Luke's one of the people who doesn't deserve it. Because if I'm suggesting or rejecting Twitter people to follow.
Is
Deny
that
Captain Dreamer.
Is that
Luke Rudkowski used to be Tim Pool's co-host for a long time.
Yeah, I remember.
And now he's on with the Quartering, actually.
Oh, did they have a
things aren't going... I don't know. I mean, like, I know a lot of people who... I personally know a lot of people who've had falling outs with Tim Pool. I never have.
Did he get fed up with... Did he get fed up of the swatting Olympics? Like,
I don't know, maybe. I honestly, I never talked... I've spoken to Luke a little bit in DMs, and I've met him in person a couple times, but, like, he's just a good Twitter follower. That guy... Twitter follow. That guy is a sincere... libertarian, I guess, in the sense that not in the gay libertarian sense. And I do want to say also that you know who talked about all of this shit nearly 40 years ago was Ron Paul.
Jimmy Dore.
Ron Paul. Jimmy Dore, honestly, like, sometimes he does say correct things. But Ron Paul's been talking about this shit for like 38 years. Constantly and consistently. My first foray into politics was Ron Paul, and so I can say one thing about myself, which is that I've been consistent in that I am anti-war. And I'm so sickened, I don't know if you guys feel this way too, but just the bloodthirst that people have expressed over this war in Iran, of just how seemingly desirous and covetous they are of blood. It's crazy to me.
It's not blood, Aiden, it's conquest.
It's crazy to me. I don't understand why people are so bloodthirsty.
Listen, Aiden, if you don't bully nations around, they stop respecting you.
Okay. Well, you got to make sure that you just kill a couple of hundred. You got to kill 200 children.
Safely say, I do not respect the United States.
All those children grow up and they pick up guns anyway. Then you just do it a little bit early.
Right. I hate it. I've been told I'm woman-brained, which is true. Inherently, I can't help that. But I think I'm also principled-brained in that, excuse me.
Yeah, but I think that if you had the time machine and you go back into the age of Manifest Destiny, you would be like, we're not going to expand all the way to Mississippi.
Never gonna make it. We're never gonna make it.
Nah, we're not expanding, because like all these religious people saying that God said we deserve the Mississippi. No, we don't. There's
it's our divine right. It's our manifest destiny. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's a very different situation.
No, I think if anyone would go back in the past,
I'm telling you, if you were back in time and you didn't know how events turned out, and you had the same personality, you'd be like,
probably.
We're not
I don't know. I don't even know how many of my ancestors were in the U.S. at that time. Probably some of them. And I imagine they were doing the same kind of shit.
If Vaden had the same mentality, she went back, she would look at these people, the revolution, and go like, oh dear God, no. Do you know, if we get a centralized government, we're going to pay way more in fucking taxes. For the love of God, keep the king.
I would have been like,
keep the king. Because there's going to be so...
on the ship, to be honest.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
No. Keep the fucking tea. Keep the fucking tea. Just don't, like, we're going to pay like 80 times the taxes we do now in a massive centralized government. Fuck that shit. Like, no.
You know
I would have done what I did in real life, which is peace out, America, back to the British Isles for me.
you know who I think you'd have voted for? I think you'd have voted for Jefferson, because he fucked the military. He was like, we need agriculture and militias. We don't need cities. We need a land.
I am a big fan of Jefferson as a historical figure.
I didn't know that. But it took me like 30 minutes with you in the stream, and I should have liked Jefferson.
Yeah, Hamilton.
No, I know. Yes, Hamilton better than Jefferson, unironically, despite the strange portrayal of him.
Hamilton is a fan of centralized power, which I also naturally favor, because decentralization is gay.
Well, unless you're Iran, in which case decentralization was a smart fucking idea.
Yeah, but I mean, the power is centralized, but the military is decentralized.
Yes.
As far as I'm aware.
And that was the United States is in no way prepared for the situation in Iran. Because it does seem like America, look, this is the way it looks like to me. And I really am struggling to see any other option. It looks like to me that Trump got a call last week from Bibi Netanyahu who said, Trump, it's Purim, it's time for us to attack Amalek. So I'm gonna fucking launch an attack on Iran, and you can be with us, or you can not.
All right, Betty, we want to take in that glory. We're not going to let you do it like it's going to be in my presidency. That we're going to fuck that son of a bitch. And we're going to put the Shah We're going to put a shine his throne, and we're going to do the regime change, Betty.
And so he's like, you can either, and this is coming from, Marco Rubio and from Trump, and this is not coming from nowhere, is that it seemed like it was like, you're either on board with this, or your people were going to get shot up inevitably when Iran counterattacks by shooting up American bases in the Gulf, which they did.
Also,
so you're either with us or against us. And the question that people are asking is like, well, is this about the Epstein files, or is this about something else? What's Trump covering for? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think it's just that Trump is.
I love how like the Epstein, like every single major political decision is like with the Epstein files in mind now. Like everything is with the Epstein files. Yes.
Also,
I think it's a very surface level read.
I seem to recall a video you did like years ago, because I think I had it saved as a meme that I could pull for at some point, where you said, I think it was a bunch of people who scratched somebody's car, and you said, I swear Washington should have taken that fucking crown. Like, if it was King Washington and the Washington dynasty, like, I could understand this behavior, but like, this is like, yeah. I just remember that because I was like, V saying we should have King Washington. I'm like, that'll be fucking funny.
I also advocate for King Washington. It was an option. He rejected. He should have taken it.
He should have taken the fucking crown. Yeah.
The Washington dynasty, yeah. And you know what the Washington dynasty would have done, either? He would have fucked the Middle East.
No, he wouldn't. He would not have done that.
Who knows? Well,
Washington's farewell address was to not get involved in foreign interventions.
I will tell you something, exposed, right? Every single nation that respects itself has ambitions in the Middle East. As long as oil is going to be the normal source of energy for humanity, any nation that has an ounce of respect and considers itself a world power is going to have opinions about the Middle East.
Absolutely.
China has it. Russia has it. If America wouldn't have it, then it wouldn't be a great nation. Look at Brazil.
Yeah.
Look at Brazil. Do they have any ambitions in the Middle East? No. You exactly know on the tier ladder where Brazil goes. It drops all the way to F. Right?
Brazil is respected for having attractive women.
South Africa, does it have any ambitions in the Middle East?
But you're talking about the BRICS nations which trade with each other
Iran.
Quite openly.
Yeah.
You mentioned 2 BRICS nations, right?
Yes.
So
Brazil and South Africa, who are in the BRICS nations, along with China and Russia.
Which means that China,
we have
Russia,
relations with them.
South Africa,
so thanks
Brazil,
for proving my point,
and am I missing one?
India.
Who am I missing? India.
I'm not talking about trade. I'm talking about imposing your will. I'm talking about dominating and subjugating other human beings. Well, and you're talking to me about trade and shit. I'm talking about changing the merchant so that you have.
And after this shit, if the United States fails in this, which it is predicted by people who have called this shit on point to fail in this operation, I think you are going to see some significant power shifts towards BRICS. They're going to come out of this on top. The United States is going to come out on the bottom. At least it's not going to go well for the United States. They're already running out of munitions. They can't maintain this. This is not Venezuela. This is Iran. It's one of the oldest contiguous civilizations on planet Earth. They have a decentralized military, and they have countless fucking drones that they can throw at this stuff. It's not Venezuela.
Do you know who else was like a very powerful and old nation?
Britain?
China. And it got the Century of Humiliation when...
It did.
Britain. Yeah.
It did.
Okay, why would
doesn't mean the Century of Humiliation can't happen to the United States, which is what I do not want.
Why do I want to favor the American and their global hominists? Like, no. America has no decent culture worthy of exploitation. It's not like France. It's not like Britain. It's cringe and gay. No.
Yes. But like, listen, you go to bed, right, and everything is fine, and you wake up and a world leader is in your prison. It's like, that is so fucking, like, I mean, look, that is awesome. Okay, it's awesome.
How is it awesome?
Who else can do that? Look at Russia. Russia is like, oh, I don't like Zelensky, and they keep sending tanks and men, and it's like, oh, special military operation. 5 years later, 100,000 of them, they still can't do it. Put in little fucking cock. Trump doesn't like the president of that nation. Next day, he's in America, in New York, arrested, waiting his charges.
Yeah, I agree.
You've
been possessed by the spirit of Holden Blood Feast, V.
No, that's fantastic.
Our conquest.
Our oldest member of Congress.
Okay, so wait, so
like,
let me get this straight. I'm supposed to care about this ability to kidnap another nation. The average age that people can buy a house in America is fucking 50. Fuck off with your leader kidnapping and fix the economy, you fucking fat sack of shit. I don't care about your bullshit military expansionism. Fuck off. Give us cheap oil.
My ancestors were from the Roman spoons.
Fucking care.
You do not understand this because you're from South Africa. Your ancestors were dominated. My ancestors dominated yours. So when I go with the bloodlust, I'm channeling the spirit of the Roman Empire.
My ancestors were French, German, and Dutch, and they went and conquered the South African wildlands. I'm okay.
Listen.
He's not actually wrong in that. I mean, like, Romania is the end of the Roman Empire. So there you go. It's named as hence such. Well, what's your comeback, Spoon?
Not getting that green card, that's what his comeback.
Spoon's got a Irish...
You do realize I have an Irish passport, right?
Sisters, sorry, another group of people that were dominated and subjugated. Like, look, do you have, like, anything in your blood that actually conquered other people?
German, British, French.
There you go.
And why don't you lead with that? Why do you lead with, like, Irish or South African?
I led with Irish because
he's not... I have passports.
He lived there for half his life, man.
Yes. I mean, you asked. It's not a very sexy answer, but that would be the reason why.
Well,
it also means I can flex on so many South Africans by just going like, hey, look, I have access to Europe and you don't.
Anyway,
but that's an unfortunate thing, yeah.
I need to bounce. Yeah. So this was actually really pleasant. We'll do it again next Wednesday. Yeah, we'll do it again next Wednesday.
Yeah. There we go.
All right, see you, man. Okay. All right.
He is clearly full of a lot of energy today.
He does have a lot of energy. However, since V is left, I'm going to read these super chats, and then we're going to bring on Angry Biscuit, who donated like a shit ton of money to the stream a couple weeks ago and has asked to come on for a little bit to join us as we...
I just want to say to the Americans coping in these fucking chat, you are completely owned by the Jews. And your entire political class does their freaking bidding. So until you can get rid of AIPAC in your fucking nation, I wouldn't say shit about anything that your country does, because everything is done at the behest of a tiny little country. You are 350 million people, and you are completely cocked and fucking owned by 10 million, thousands of fucking miles away in the Middle East.
You say this after we don't have contact with V's chat anymore.
No, some of them are here.
I'm sure some of them are.
So eat a dick.
Okay, let me get these super chats, and then I will bring in Angry Biscuit, who
has
been waiting for a couple
weeks.
In
like 50 years.
Look, I got to be honest about this shit. I'm of two minds before I read the super chats. I'm of two minds on this. I hate the nation of Israel. I'm sorry. I know we've been joking about saying I love the nation of Israel just so we don't get fucking deplatformed. I despise the nation of Israel, and I'm tired of joking about it because I fucking hate these people. They have destroyed the world and are set on literally bringing about Armageddon. They're insane. The leadership of the Israelis is fucking insane. And I say that, the leadership, because I do want to be clear that it is not anti-Semitic in that I hate all Jews or whatever. And I have friends who are Jewish who I've spoken to about this who are very much opposed to this.
Well, yeah, because then that would make their nation look bad.
It doesn't just make their nation; it makes their race look bad.
Their race.
I understand. People, whatever, you know.
Treading thin ice here.
I'm just saying, it is not. I don't think, by the way, the average, even maybe Israeli, is in favor of what their satanic people in charge, just like we have satanic people in charge in the West.
No, there's a lot of the government.
And they're all on board with this crazy fucking apocalyptic narrative. And again, I agree. I when I heard AA say this, I was like, thank God someone else is saying it. Which is like, that's the only thing that makes sense, is that they have to believe in this crazy fucking
cult,
Amalek prophecy. Because nothing else, everything else about this is incomprehensible. The Trump administration has yet to provide anything that sounds like a rationale that's cogent and logical for this. It's nuts.
I think if you watch that Brian Baletic video, that does explain a lot of it, which is just the regime.
Does.
The regime.
It's a very good video. I posted it. I'll post it again.
Yeah, the regime essentially has a playbook that it follows. Like, the deep state essentially has like a clientele that basically does whatever the hell it wants, regardless of whoever's in fucking power. And so, whenever you sort of see the current people have no idea what the hell to do, it does come off like they're just following that playbook and playing it by ear to see how the people respond. Yeah, it does look like they're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Because that's the only way it makes any sense.
In that video, he talks about like, well, what if we can't get the people on board? Then what do we do? And they are playing those games right now. Is what if we can't get people on board? Because unfortunately, I think they have been able to move a lot of people to side. Maybe the polling is, first of all, polling is retarded and not reliable. But the polling has been mixed. In early polls, everybody was very much against this, including Republicans. More recent polls have shown a big increase in Republican support. I don't know if that's the polling or if that is the effect of the propaganda. However, what I can tell you with definitive proof, with pretty much definitive certainty, is that in 5 years, all the people being like, yeah, let's go bomb Iran, are going to feel fucking stupid and will pretend like none of this ever happened. Because they've done that with every single fucking thing like this they've ever supported in the past, and it's going to go the exact same fucking way as the war on terror. And it's not like Iraq. It's not Iraq. You're right. It's not Iraq. This is Libya, motherfucker.
You mean
but
Iran?
Libya you can't so easily overthrow.
It's Iran, you mean?
Iran is closer to Libya in the way that they're handling it, in every single fucking way. And also, airstrikes, taking out the leader.
Also, this thing, the Persian people get the liberation. Liberation from what? What the fuck does that actually mean? You do realize...
It means that women can be whores,
you do realize there is a contingency of that regime. It doesn't just dissipate and now you're going to have this magical group of people taking over and turning it into a fucking liberal democracy. I don't know what fucking world you retards live in where you can look at this, you can just like knock off a leader and it's like a fucking TV show. That's not the real fucking world.
It's media brained.
Okay, look at Iraq, look at Afghanistan, right? The amount of shit America's done the last 20 years, has it in any way made these places more liberal? No. So what the fucking hell makes you think it's going to do it now? Stop living in this fantasy land where you're going to liberate these people because you killed their leaders. Like thinking that you're going to do that is like thinking you're going to take out the Pope and end Catholicism.
Let's talk about the current situations in the countries that America has attempted to bring democracy to over the past 40 years. Again, I bring up and will lead with Libya, where the United States did almost the exact same thing as they have done here in Iran. First of all, there was a color revolution that happened just beforehand that was used as pretext and casus belli for the war. Now, the color revolution in Libya was, funded and sponsored by the CIA and MI5. Okay?
Yeah, that was to get their oil.
As always. Funded and supported and propped up by foreign governments. They go in, Gaddafi is impaled through the asshole, taken out, and what is the state of Libya today?
Was Trump in... Okay, I have to ask this. Do you people honestly think Trump runs the military? Really?
Well,
do you people genuinely believe that? Trump can't even get Netanyahu to not fucking do anything. Yeah, Trump isn't running shit. Trump is somebody else's bitch.
Clearly, Trump's not running shit.
I mean, for goodness sake, the military was against him in the last, in his first administration. If you don't think Trump is Netanyahu's bitch
after this, I don't know. There is nothing that could possibly convince you outside of Trump getting down on his knees in public in a pig costume and sucking Netanyahu's dick. I don't know what else is it, or naked, dressed, with the pig nose on. Well, that was the episode of, what was it, Black Mirror or whatever. Something like that. Outside of him getting dressed up as a pig and getting fucked on television, I don't know what other kind of evidence you would need to know that Trump is Netanyahu's bitch at this point.
Does Trump make any position like, no, okay. Do you want my honest opinion? This is what I think the play is going to be for the next couple of years. Trump is used by the deep state because this position is not particularly popular, and neither is Trump. Trump is essentially a sacrificial lamb.
They're lying that it's popular, but trust me, it is not popular.
No. This is what I think is going to happen, is they will use Trump, likely impeach him in the midterms, whether that goes through or not, who the hell knows.
Yeah.
But what will happen...
I hope they do.
...is the next Democrat, because you're going to have a Democratic president in 2028, that's pretty much guaranteed at this fucking point. He can run... I'm saying he, I mean like Gavin Newsom has a really good chance of winning, actually. All he has
Gavin
to say...
Newsom's going to win, by the way, because of this. Yeah.
Yeah, if he just says,
Congrats.
I'm not in favor of like the draconian Zionism and the way that it's cocking our government, so many people will believe that shit, and then as soon as he gets into power, he will do the exact same shit that Trump does.
Exactly. That's the thing. Gavin Newsom's going to get in. Gavin Newsom is the uniparty. He's going to do the exact same fucking shit.
Yep.
Gavin Newsom's talking now like, I can't understand why we're killing children. It's all fucking theater. They're all in the same club. It's a small club,
Newsom
and you're not in it. Indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Let me read these super chats. And by the way, I am sorry if I'm coming off as hyper aggressive towards people who are positive towards this war, but you need to hear these
pull
things.
Your head out
and I'm
going to
go through it with you for the rest of the stream. I'm going to go through it with you. And I'm going to explain to you, if you're on the fence and thinking maybe this is good for America and this is actually really based, or this is a show of power from Trump, I'm going to show you why it's not. I may make a video about this, honestly.
I don't think they will.
I have to talk about that
actually.
first. I'm sorry. I have to talk about this first. I really have to, because this is super important. And before, I'm so invested in this stuff, which is that all this Iran stuff, that I forgot the thing that I really need to tell you about, which is that I'm launching a new channel. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, I gotta get it up. Not like that. I think it might be. Am I logged in over here?
You can say that. You don't have a penis, as far as I'm aware.
I know. I am. Okay. So this is my new channel. It's nothing on it yet, but it's Science Sybil, SIBYL. I'm going to release in the next week 2 videos on the same day. One will be a video that we posted to this channel. I'm going to give you guys a link. Please subscribe. And on next Wednesday, I'll also, when I launch the videos, we're going to try to do a thing, because YouTube has killed my channel algorithmically. Aiden Paladin has absolutely raped it. There's no other way to describe what happened to me over the last year. I lost 95% of my viewership, and it's clearly algorithmic. It has to do with subscribe. I'll go over it. I made a whole video about explaining like why it happened and how it happened and how the YouTube algorithm works and why. So, the videos that I made that were purely extremely focused on politics did okay. But the videos that I made that were not explicitly about politics were the worst performing videos I've ever released. Even if they were political, but they weren't like in your face. If it didn't have like a picture of Charlie Kirk's face in the thumbnail, it didn't work. They just failed. And that's because of the YouTube algorithm stuff. Anywho, so let me actually pin this comment real quick. I'll remind you again next week. I'm going to start releasing shorts on this channel over the next week. This will be for more my pure science content. And the first video that I will be used AI for your profile picture is I used AI to, this is a Michelangelo painting. I don't know.
That's actually not AI.
I used AI to like, what?
That's not actually AI, is it?
I only used a little bit of AI to just clean it up. It's a Michelangelo painting.
Yeah, you actually had someone commissioned to do most of the drawing.
Well, yeah, it's a Michelangelo painting.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, do you want me to have someone else do it? I mean, like, I can hire I have a couple people who I could do for art, but I liked this art. It's based on a Michelangelo painting of a Sybil, which is a did Michelangelo use AI? I don't know, but that's the problem with the AI stuff, right? Is that everyone thinks everything is AI. You just look it up. Hang on, I'll show you what I mean. Sibyls in ancient Greece, like, I mean, it's obviously like been drawn over, you know what I mean? Were prophetesses, and I love this art. Anyway, So that's the theme there. So the first video I'm going to upload is about how astrology is real. So if you're interested in that, like I'm serious.
That is the most biological thing you could ever fucking do.
But it's about the biology. It's about the biology of why astrology is real. Anywho, tell us again. It's a Michelangelo painting. All right, I will. Sybil is also a name I've used online for many, many years. So this is connected to me in every way. I'm not getting away. I'm not stopping doing Aiden Paladin. I'm just only going to use Aiden for hyper-political videos. And if there's any way that... oh my god, it's a very expensive commission. If a video is in any way not explicitly political... And by the way, that means that the videos on this channel will still be political. But it won't be like... Here's a picture of Charlie Kirk's face or Bibi Netanyahu or Trump's face on the thumbnail, that kind of stuff. It'll be on this channel from now on. And that's because YouTube has fucking killed me, man. Anywho, so check it out. If people don't like the art, actually, I really appreciate feedback on it. And I'll ask again about it next week. Because I'm very open to changing things. Well, no, I'm very open to changing things. And I could hire a different artist. You know, I can get someone else on it.
It's fine.
Is it because of Flesh Simulator? No, although when I was rewatching myself in the video that I was like editing my video, and I realized that I have similar ways of speaking to Flesh Simulator. Like it just dawned upon me. Like shit. Anyway, there will be shorts that will be appearing on this channel over the next week, and then next Wednesday here live, I will be launching it along with a new video on my channel. So we probably will do a short stream next week because I'm desperately trying to save my ability to do YouTube because this has been a rough year, bro. Can't find the channel in search for some reason, probably because there's no subs on it. I've not told anyone about it. I've not done anything with it. There's no videos on it. So essentially it's invisible, but that's why I've linked to it. And thank you guys for subbing. There will be stuff, don't worry. New, near 50-minute long documentary on it next week. Anywho.
You can maybe start
get these
with
super
shorter
chats.
stuff to get it going first.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna do the shorts first. Yeah, and we might actually what I might do next week is actually switch our live stream over there because I need a certain number of watch hours. I might do this weekend. I'll do it this weekend, not Wednesday. This weekend. Sorry, I meant to do this. This weekend, let's do a live stream. We'll do it on that channel because I need a certain number of watch hours in order for it to get monetized.
Yeah,
Anywho. Okay. Let me get these super chats, and then we'll go into we'll bring on Biscuit here for a little bit, and then we'll get into do I still have a subscribe star? Michael Deberman for 2, F Patreon link. I do have a Patreon and a subscribe star. Yes, I do. Thank you so much, man. It'll all be linked on the new channel as well. It's also all linked on all my videos on Aiden Paladin. TG France for 10 says, Ave Crown Crew, for the glory of God, glory to in your house. # Sword Fund. Oh, thank you, man. Let me add that. Hang on. Let me put that in my notes. Whoa. Okay. Sword Fund plus 10. Wow. Yay, let's go. Thank you. Bill will be so happy about that. I'm sorry he's not feeling well tonight. Let's see. The Bishop of the Railways for 10 Canadian says she's what we called a charismatic Christian, that woman who was repeating herself over and over again. They're New Age influenced. Yes, they are. Their teachings are extremely popular with blacks. Yep. They're coming for you, Spoon. Unfortunately. Let's see. And Grant Nick for 5 says, here in the U.S., most of my Protestant friends are converting to Catholic Roman or Roman Catholic or Orthodox. I think it's grounded and has authority in history. It does indeed. I did the same. Many Yutsushai for 10 says, if it's a blessing for the USA for the government of Israel to exist, then why has the USA fallen apart since the 50s? Good question. Modern day Israel was founded in 1948. Where are the blessings? Nowhere to be seen, my friend. Bishop of the Railway for another 10 says, the modern speaking in tongue is supposed to be speaking in a heavenly language. Many in the Reformed Protestant church traditions believe they are messing with demons. I would probably agree. Like, what else are you speaking? You know what I mean? It's not a language. Is it angelic? Which should, like, cause, like, mind rape, essentially? Like, you shouldn't be able to hear angelic language, right? Or is it just a demonic tongue? I don't know. Let's see. Flan the Man for 2 says, can we just pass the SAVE Act? I'm so tired. I know, man. Can we just pass the SAVE Act? But instead we have to deal with this shit. right? To deal with all this fucking garbage. Oil King Supreme for 5 says, what are the smaller countries in Europe saying about the war in Iran and China? Yag, I tooted. Spoon, what do you like to cook? What are the small European countries saying, by the way? We'll get to that later.
Well,
what do you like to cook, Spoon?
Other people.
Into the cannibals pot, huh?
A little bit.
That's the title of that book about South Africa.
Yeah, the one that made you ill.
Oh, it did. It really did. That book was... Ugh.
Mad.
Oh, my goodness. No, the book is an account of real things that have happened in South Africa.
Yeah.
Just the things that happened in South Africa were mad. Yeah. Potato Chip for 5 years says, on version question, mostly the Zionist Christian sects will go down. It's also very obvious that Iran is making a weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Metal Gear! Yeah, they gotta have a mobile nuclear platform. A Metal Gear. Rambam for £5 says, Iran is a natural fortress of a country. Indeed, it's why they've been impossible to conquer for forever. Given how mountainous it is, boots on the ground would be insane, and yet they're not ruling it out, despite saying they wouldn't do it. Artemis Fowl for 10 says, are these the same people that the U.S. claimed... Are these the same people that claimed U.S. wasn't capable of invading Venezuela and capturing Maduro without massive casualties, my anti-stealth? As I said earlier, Venezuela and Iran are completely different situations. And I actually think that in many ways, Trump did Venezuela first to give, and I'm not saying you're stupid or whatever, but to give people that excuse, that exact excuse to say, like, well, look how easy we dealt with Venezuela. We can do that in Iran.
Is not.
Iran is not Venezuela. And it's very
has 90
dangerous
million
to think so.
fucking people. It is one of the oldest civilizations around. And also, if you're next to a country like Israel, or next to, but nearby, one that says, we're going to kill you for like 40 fucking years, there's a good chance that they might actually prep for that shit when you eventually do.
Yes.
That's fairly... Like, if they say that, and then you attack them, and they retaliate and kick the shit out of you, that should be kind of expected.
Mysinski.
I heard
Mysinski. Did you hear Bill say something?
Yeah.
Sorry. That's why I said I had to turn my, and he's being real quiet too. He's really trying. Mysinski for 5 says, Brazilian here, we are a joke of a country. We have no way to be militarily imposing. BRICS is a joke and won't rise up. Not yet. Not yet. When I was saying that, what I meant is this will leave perhaps a power vacuum, which BRICS could occupy. Excuse me. Damn, my allergies are awful tonight. Michael the Doberman, where was that? For 2 says, based V. Yeah, V was very fun to have on. Arson for 5 says, I agree this was not how the Persian people, because that's what they are. They're Persian. But monarchy and centralization is gay. Not how the Persian people... Oh, I meant to say that this is not how I hoped the Persian people would get their liberation, but I'm glad the supreme leader of Iran is gone. I was no fan of the Ayatollah, in particular. I mean, he is an Islamist. Excuse me. However, again, when I say you have to be careful about these things, the Ayatollah was a man who put a fatwa on the development of nuclear weapons. And the reality is that Iran was not building nuclear weapons. That has been confirmed by multiple agencies. If you're still believing that shit, you gotta update unpropagandize your brain. It's just not true. Iran, if they were developing nuclear weapons, every single fucking independent agency has denied that. And in which case, it eluded them. So, the claim that Iran has been building nuclear weapons for 47 years and is just 1 week, 1 month away from doing it, when every independent investigatory agency has denied that was the case, what is more likely is my question there. And I think that people have been really lied to and fucked with and believe a lot of bullshit about Iran. Ultra Soccer 5 says, boomer mentality equals monster of the week entertainment. And unfortunately, I think that's how a lot of people are looking at this. Michael the Doberman for 2 says, I got that one. Subscribe star on Patreon. Yes, I do. Basinski for 5 says, Iran change is great for toppling the Brazilian progressive regime and the Sao Paulo Forum, which is a major contributor financially to multilateralism. If that's, I don't know enough about Brazilian politics to know if that's true or not, but I'll take your word for it, man, and I hope so, if that's one good thing that can come from it. Rambam 3000 for £2 says Sword Fund, and Michael Doberman for another 5 Canadian says Sword Fund plus Make Bill Fat Fund. He won't like that one, Michael. He won't like that one.
Fat too.
Where is it? Plus 2.
No offense, Bill.
Plus 5 CA. I had the only one I can actually write in the dollars versus pounds on because I have a UK keyboard. Okay, let me bring in Angry Biscuit. You really do have ADHD. Yeah, a little bit. I do, man. I said 8:30s when I bring you in. I'm gonna do that now. Let me add to the call. Let me add him here. There we go. And then we'll move on, and I want to just kind of go through things in a sort of hello, Angry Biscuit, how's it going?
It's stress. A lot of stress.
Don't worry about it. You're just gonna hang out here with me and speak for you wanted to come on, and so I'm more than happy. You're all good. We're gonna talk about the stuff in Iran. We're gonna go through I have compiled a lot of stuff here. Oh no, don't worry about it.
I did have the really retarded joke that I wanted to say.
You gotta no, come on. If you got a joke, let's go.
All right. Well, why do black people like melons so much?
Why?
Because they're so melanated.
That is true. Did you see the Shape Store thing, Spoon? I'm fascinated by the Shape Store. Oh, I'll show you. The Shape Store. Okay, this is before we get into it. We're actually well timed on this, because I got a lot to say, but we're well timed on this. This video went viral, and it's AI slop, but which by the way, I'm worried about that art now. Like, okay,
what the hell is?
I did see this,
but I had no idea what it was.
It's liminal space for blacks.
Man, I got like 8 of these little new shapes.
Liminal space for black? The fuck is that supposed to mean?
It's like, they go to the... people have written, by the way, like, incredibly detailed analyses of this video about how blacks in the West, and particularly in the United States, live in essentially a massive playground that is operated, funded, and controlled by powers and money that they can't possibly comprehend. And they don't understand that they're living in essentially a massive playground. Which I think is a very accurate read of this. Maybe it's why this video feels so...
real
to people? Like a thing that really happened or something? That there was a place called the Shape Shop? Where blacks were in a massive
Chat is
kindergarten?
saying they can't see a video. I don't know if you're trying to show a video or...
Is it not working?
But chat is... Oh.
Hold on a second.
Oh, Spoon. Okay, never mind. Sorry. I'll go back through
There we
it.
go.
Yeah, share screen. Thank you. You got it up. All right. I was letting things
moment.
play. I'm not the one operating OBS, Michael.
Thanks for that.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. Oh no, we are blind. Sorry. You got it up. Let me know.
Yeah, no, it's on now.
One thing I can say is I really can't fucking believe
thank you, Biscuit.
that I was just a year ago, I was excited and ecstatic at Trump being reelected, and now I'm just sitting here thinking, what the fuck was I thinking?
I think there's many people who are in that
Kamala
position.
Harris was the person next to it.
And I mean, Spoon, you and I, at the time we talked about it, we were very open that we thought that Trump was being cycled in, and it was specifically because he is Israel's ally. And we talked about it at the time. And so when Trump was elected this last time, even though I voted for him, trust me, I did, because it seemed the lesser of two evils. And I will say this to be clear, I'm playing the Shape Shop stuff here. Kamala Harris would have done this as well. The only difference would have been the framing. It would have been, and you already know what the framing would have been because you can see it. The framing is we have to liberate women in Iran because they are being oppressed. And we desperately need to help these women so that they can start OnlyFans accounts. It is an important, necessary good. But either way, and this is the thing that people need to be, I'm extremely serious. You need to be deathly aware of this. The Uniparty, the Democrats, and the Republicans are both completely Israel first at the end of the day. Yeah. Aiden can still vote. I'm still an American citizen, homie. I didn't give up my American citizenship.
You do realize I can vote in these elections if I want to.
Well, I'm an American citizen because I was born one. I
fair, but I don't want to be an American citizen right now. I don't want to be in America right now.
Well, I'll tell you this: do not ever give up your American citizenship. It's extremely valuable. Don't give that shit up. Particularly when no other country, for the most part, will require that kind of level of sacrifice from you. They probably should, but they don't. So, pretty much nowhere will require you to give up your native citizenship to become a citizen. An American citizenship is the most valuable citizenship in the global stage. It lets you kind of do fucking whatever.
There are so many English people right now who would go fuck off, yank. The British passport is superior.
In terms of being able to get around in the world, the U.S. passport is superior, and I don't necessarily like that, but it is the case. You know me. I've been a resident of the British Isles for 6 years. I'm not saying I like it.
I think the Germans are superior culturally and ethnically.
It's based. I'm a bit of a bong supremacist. Anyway, Elgin 5 says. Elgin 5 says, "What kind of subversive will he turn out to be? Place your bets now." Oh no! We'll find out. I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah. I mean, with the whole Germans being superior, I'm not just talking the Holy Roman Empire. I'm also talking about the empire of Kaiser Wilhelm and Otto von Bismarck. I mean,
yeah, very based.
Young empire unifying a bunch of kingdoms who previously hated each other and then kicking the shit out of old armies that have been around for centuries. I mean, he beat France in a matter of 6 months and then crowned his Kaiser in the Hall of Mirrors in Versailles just as an extra fuck you to France.
Fuck you to France. It was quite based. I will now lead us into the opposite of based, the opposite of fuck you. I don't know how much of this we're going to watch, but this is Trump's declaration of war, which is totally not a war because it's
deranged.
It is deranged. Yeah, it's deranged.
The United States.
Well, it's coming out of the White House. Of course it's fucking deranged.
At this point, yeah. Let me turn this up a little bit. Okay.
Major combat operations in Iran.
I don't think anything out of the White House has been non-deranged since Theodore Roosevelt.
Regime.
True.
A vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States. Our troops are
and that's including Eisenhower, who gave my great uncle the Medal of Honor.
So, yeah, a base.
Is this sped up?
Iran's existence is endangering our troops. By the way, as we'll go through, all of this has been debunked by people who are actually in positions of power. But the Pentagon has admitted, no, Iran
is not a threat to us.
Imminent threat whatsoever.
That's pretty bad when even the Pentagon says, like, no, you're actually talking shit.
And you those of you who are like diehard MAGA, I understand you've invested cognitive energy, you've invested psychic energy into this. And you might think, well, the Pentagon's lying. It's Trump's Pentagon. Why would, I mean, maybe they're lying, but everyone knows this. Every independent agency has said, no, Iran was not an imminent threat to the United States in any capacity. Their missiles did not have the capacity to reach further than, even if they had nukes, would not have the capacity to reach further than Europe at the absolute most. And they didn't have nukes. You destroyed their nuclear program last year.
It should really make you pause when the Pentagon, which is usually war-hungry, comes out and just says, we're not in favor of that. That should generally make you pause and go, okay, if even the Pentagon that likes war is telling you, like, this is not a good idea, that should make you pause.
Basinski for 10 says Biden enabled the commie nightmare Brazil is going through right now. I know he did. Trump has been the greatest blessing for us to get Lula out. For our right, it's great. It's great cause our tax. It's great because our tax money won't go to fund mullahs. Indeed, and in Brazil, it's a different situation. I would say probably
Brazil is an entirely different situation. Trump helping like one or two nations is great, but when he's fucking over the rest of the planet, especially the United States and Europe, is one nation being aided by a few tiny things he's doing really great, or is it just a few golden pieces of glitter on a heaping pile of shit?
And to be clear, all of this dickery in the Middle East. And one of the countries that in Europe that Trump has been very harsh upon, in like you got to get on side, is the United Kingdom, because all of this stuff in the Middle East was a joint project between the CIA and MI6. It has been for the last 50 years a joint MI6 CIA project, and so when Starmer was initially a little bit reticent. Trump said, Keir, I'm not very happy with that. And what do you know? Keir gets a little bit more on side. Let's start saying, okay, the U.S. can use our air bases. You know what Rupert Lowe has said? No. I'm so on board with the Lowe train. Look, I was on the Trump train. I was on the Trump train. I was on it. I was there in 2016, 2017. I was there. Fuck this guy. I think Rupert Lowe is a decent person, but I don't know. I'm waiting for my fell for it again award there too. Sorry.
Yeah, I do feel, because you mentioned earlier the MAGA fanboys jumping on to support Trump. I can identify with them a little bit, and I do feel guilty for this, because when this whole Iran thing came out, my initial and immediate reaction was to try and defend Trump. And Spoon, you made a video about this a while back. I don't remember what video exactly it was, but it was about like deprogramming your brain and just like I don't remember everything you said, but that as soon as I thought about what I was doing, that what you said about it clicked in my head, and I was like, holy fucking shit, I've programmed myself for the past 10 years to just defend everything he does, even if I viciously disagree with it.
Well, that's something called, so there's two big psychological things at play there. One of them is cognitive dissonance, which is that you believed in one thing, and now the thing that you believe in is being contradicted. And so you either have to, the thing that is very difficult to do is to say I was wrong. And it's really hard to do because it causes psychological pain. It causes pain in the same part of the brain as physical pain, okay? Or activation in the same part of the brain. Two is something called worldview defense. Worldview defense is related to psychological reactance and related to cognitive dissonance. And when your worldview is attacked, people will do almost anything to defend it. Because, again, if your worldview is wrong, that creates cognitive dissonance, which results in psychic pain. So we are evolved to not want to change our opinions and to want to do things like vehemently defend Trump if we have supported him in the past. Just being aware of these kinds of psychological mechanisms can help maybe a little bit in terms of, it's sunk cost fallacy, Simply Green, but I'm using a bunch of psychological terms to basically explain sunk cost fallacy. You've invested in it, and so it makes it difficult to move on or to admit that there's something that's fucked. And at this point, I do think this is the division line in the sand. If you can't say that this is wrong with Trump, and Spoon, you and I have been calling out Trump on his bullshit for years now. And specifically what I want to point out, and ring the fucking bell, but Scrump and Evelyn called this years ago, we are returned to Freedom Fries. We are in full Freedom Fries again. It is 2003. We gotta go stop the Arabs in the Middle East. Same fucking shit as George Bush. I'm sorry. And like I said, people get very upset when you compare it to Iraq, because they've kind of been programmed to do that. It is much more similar to Libya so far. And
George Bush was a fucking retard too.
He sure was. Trump is more of the same in many ways. Let's continue.
Allies throughout the world.
Yeah.
For 47
by the way,
years,
fuck
the
you,
Iranian
Spoon, for
regime
waking me up to all of this. Now, I blame you for
Oh,
noticing.
Spoon, you
all
gave him
of
the
that.
red pill.
You're
You
one
red
of
pilled
them.
him.
I kind of wonder what the video was now.
Dude, once you're red pilled, you're red pilled. That's how it works. Once you and by the way, like by red pill, I don't mean in the kind of like gay way that like the MAGA
the
base that
reality
are
of
currently
power.
supporting this use red pill. We mean legitimately becoming aware of power structures,
So-
legitimately becoming
so
aware
not the-
of how
yeah.
these interactions work. Do not fall for this shit. Also, look at him here. Whoa, what the fuck? Hang on, what, bro?
He's quite thinner, actually.
Can I? Oh, hang on, dude. His eyes look fucked up. Like he looks fucked. I gotta save this image and bring it up. Hang on. Bring it back.
I think I believe it was you who mentioned it, but like people who consistently think evil thoughts tend to just become disfigured. Kind of like I this is gonna make me sound like such a fucking nerd, but like Palpatine from Star Wars, how he was disfigured by the dark side.
I think that there's actual empirical evidence of that. And look at Trump right here. Now I know it's the shadow cast by his hat, but yo, could you look more like a Sith?
Wait, does he actually? He looks like he actually has fucking Sith eyes because they look like.
Yeah, I know. He looks like a Sith. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness.
I am one with the dark side.
He certainly is.
Unlimited power.
Is that Trump double? Vox Day seems to think there are a few. I don't know. I don't think so.
An unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder.
Why? No, seriously, why are his eyes fucking glowing? That is so creepy.
It's just the lighting in the hat.
I think it is, but it still does look crazy. Yeah. Anyway, let's listen.
Innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. embassy in Tehran.
Oh, is it not? Can you not?
Wait, do it. Is it because I turned off the volume?
Yeah, you gotta
for
turn
the
it
stream?
up. Turn it up probably in Discord because I'm streaming it through Discord.
Holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut.
You know what? I'm not listening to it fucking anymore. I'm not. We're gonna just go through it. You know what? Let's do a history lesson, shall we? Let's do a fucking history. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck
history.
You. Fuck you. Okay, so here's what he's talking about. He jumps immediately to the hostage situation during the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Okay, let's talk about what happened in 1953, which was the coup in Iran that was done by the fucking CIA. This happened in 1953. The US and the UK, in concert with each other, removed Mohammad Mossadegh, the socialist leader, friendly to the Russians, leader, right, who nationalized oil. This is not unknown. Operation Ajax, whereby the CIA-funded agents were used to foment unrest inside Iran by the way of harassment of religious and political leaders and a media disinformation campaign. These efforts, formally approved by President Dwight D. Eisenhower, came to a head in August of 1953 when Mossadegh and his government were overthrown and Mohammad Reza, the pro-Western monarch, returned to power. The coup nearly failed. Who cares? It succeeded. That's what happened in 1953. The United States government and the United Kingdom's government worked in consort with one another to overthrow the democratically elected leader of Iran. That happened in 1953. Then we go ahead to the Iranian Revolution of 1978 through 1979, and I'm using Encyclopedia Britannica here for a reason. These are officially known, publicized facts. There's no conspiracy theory shit here. This is known stuff. So, the prelude to the revolution, in particular what happened is that there was this hostage crisis. Let's get down to the hostage crisis. Is it in here? It should be. Here we go.
Was that is that the whole thing where... Okay, wait a minute. Repeat the year of this. When was this?
So the United States government, along with the United Kingdom's government, the CIA and MI6, overthrew the democratically elected but socialist-leaning leader of Iran in 1953 under Operation Ajax.
1953. Wow, a democracy tears down a democracy for being a democracy. That's fucking ironic.
And they installed, actually, a monarchy. In 1978, 1979, the monarchy was overthrown via the Islamic Revolution. So if you, again, see old footage or photographs of Iran from the 1970s, and you see that there's women in bikinis and wearing Western-style clothes, that was under the monarchy. That was a Western-installed monarchy, a Western-installed government. The United States set up, albeit over a long course of history, 20-something years, 30 years, what ended up happening, which was the Iran hostage crisis and the Islamic Revolution. That was because the government in Iran was illegitimate and installed by the United States. Even though it was a monarch, they were still illegitimate. They were installed by the United States.
Many such cases.
Yes. Anti-Western sentiment, again, because their government was installed by the United States and were puppets of the United States, manifested itself in November 1979, seizure of 66 hostages at the U.S. Embassy by a group of Iranian protesters, demanding the extradition of the Shah, who at the time was undergoing medical treatment in the United States. See the Iran hostage crisis, which they do have more on here, but whatever. That's what happened in 1978. I do have another thing on this about specifically the hostage crisis to explain it a little bit better. Is this the clip I think it is? Right, this guy's got a great write-up on it. What about the Beirut barracks bombings? This is talking about the hostage crisis. Before the hostage crisis was even resolved, we started throwing support behind Saddam Hussein's invasion of Iran from its onset. This is also true. The United States funded and gave weapons to Saddam Hussein to overthrow the Iranian government during this hostage crisis, or preceding the hostage crisis. They were already funding. And again, this is to overthrow the Shah, who they got who was a puppet, but was not puppet enough, I suppose. So they got Iraq to go to war with Iran. The United States funded and facilitated and gave the weapons to Saddam Hussein to then overthrow the government that they themselves put in when it wasn't to their satisfaction. Are you understanding that every single fucking aspect of this shit that has led up to this point in Iran has been a product of United States and UK foreign involvement to try and dictate politics in the Middle East? To try and dictate how this works?
Yeah, because we later did the same thing to Saddam Hussein when he...
Yes, we did. When he was no longer useful. And when he was no longer useful. Do not work with Americans in foreign situations, because as just happened to Ayatollah Khomeini this last week, while you're in fucking negotiations with them, they will kill you. While you're in peace negotiations with them. Yeah. Even after the Iranian government had released the hostages it'd taken. Yes, and then blame you for it. We increased our military and financial support they released the hostages. We increase our support for Saddam. We facilitated technical support to the Iraqi government's chemical weapons program, which Baghdad employed liberally against Iranian soldiers and civilians, and eventually Kurdish and Iraqi civilians. Cut to 1980. Lebanon during the Lebanese Civil War, which by the way was also sparked by Israel, specifically funding and arming a zoo of militant. This is also true. I just don't want to get into the Lebanon stuff, but yes, also during the Lebanese Civil War, which was sparked by Israel, at a particularly tense juncture in 1982, all of the parties of the Lebanese Civil War requested an American peacekeeping mission. This is something we'd already done twice successfully in Lebanon, to roaring applause from all of Lebanon's citizens both times. Everything was fine for the better part of a year until September in 1983, when we inexplicably plastered a hillside full of Shia militiamen with Druze militiamen Shia militiamen and Druze militiamen with a battleship volley, killing between dozens and hundreds of their men. Prior to that, Lebanon's Shia militiamen were annoyed at us for not preventing the Sabra and Shatila massacres, which between 1,500 and 3,000 civilians were murdered in late 1982. After we killed a bunch of their guys completely unprompted, the kernel of cells that eventually evolved into Hezbollah were quite fucking obviously pissed off at us and wanted us to get the fuck out. The United States has done this over and over again for the last 70 fucking years in the Middle East. We have set up governments when they haven't done exactly what we've wanted. We've pulled out on them, done coups, fueled and funded militias to go against them, and then been like, oh, fucking John Travolta, what's going on here? I don't understand. All of it's been done by the United States government. All of it has. And I'm tired of fucking pretending like it's not. These are not conspiracy theories. These are things that are on fucking Wikipedia. Do you understand? United States support for Iraq during the Iran-Iraq War. Do you understand what I mean by I feel like I'm taking crazy pills all the time when I have to like go on Twitter and explain to fucking rubes who don't understand any of this. Michael the Doberman for 2 says, when we do a stream with Nux, sending love. I don't think anytime soon. John Nias, 1387 for 10 euros says, Trump is another example of iron law of oligarchy at work, indeed. Yeah. Starting in the 1980s, this did get worse. This is, the United States, this is 1987, started just attacking Iranian planes. They shot down Iran Flight 655 in 1987. Killed 37 American sailors on board the U.S. Stark. Excuse me, the Iranians had attacked first, but the United States was also engaged. This idea that like this was a war of non-aggression on the United States, and that it just the United States has been fighting this war with Iran in private, is absurd. It has been a war that has been fought between the United States and Iran for the last 40 years, in which mutual blows were exchanged, and which was ultimately caused by the United States and the United Kingdom fucking around and doing regime change operations in Iran for the last 70 fucking years. You got me? I hope. Like, it... In this case, again, why I think Spoon and I I don't know, Spoon, what's your opinion on returning the Shah?
I am not
Pahlavi.
in favor of returning anyone that is massively, essentially pro-Israel and pro-Western forces. No.
And Pahlavi is going to be massively pro-Western.
Yeah, but Trump is not a fan of him.
Definitely.
Which is curious, is that Trump is not a fan of Pahlavi. So I don't know what Trump's plan is, and according to him himself, they killed all the people that he was looking at replacing the Ayatollah with. So I don't... Like I said, this is
kind of bizarre.
A clusterfuck. It's a complete and utter clusterfuck. But when it comes to let's restore the monarchy, I am not in favor of that necessarily in Iran. And the reason why is because the monarchy was restored in Iran by the CIA in the 1950s. So I'm not... This guy's father, by the way, is who was restored to what was put in power in the 1950s by the CIA and the MI6. So not particularly in favor.
If there was, okay, because I've seen a lot of Christians in Iran waiting for an opportunity to revolt. If there was a Christian monarchy restored by Christians within Iran with zero fucking anything with the CIA, then yes, I would be all for it. But because there's talk of a monarchy being restored by Trump and by Israel and by the West,
yeah,
I agree. I say no. Fuck it. No. Hell no. If the CIA and Israel has any hand inside of it, it's a hell no from me.
Yeah, and I agree, and that's why I'm very skeptical about it. But this claim that the United States and Israel, or wow, I wish, the United States and Iran have been at war for 47 years, is all based on the things that I just described. It's because the United States has engaged in 2 regime operations in Iran over the past half century.
Why can't we do this with Israel? Just get rid of Israel and replace it with the Kingdom of Jerusalem.
I wish, but there are great... Yeah, you think you've got all this power to do regime change everywhere, but you can't do a little bit of a reconquista? I don't know.
Because they're paying you.
Well, of course you can. That's why. They're getting
Bring back
paid.
Baldwin the Fourth.
That would be very based, but unfortunately, no. The reality is that the United States and Iran have been at war for 40 years, 50 years. And it is entirely wars of aggression on the part of the United States. We talked about this a little bit when V was here. But I want to be really clear about something. I will be more clear about it in a moment here as well. Iranians are not just stinky Arab Muslims.
No, the Persians.
They're Persians. They're arguably white. Okay? First of all.
Pretty high IQs, actually.
Extremely high IQ. Although they are Muslim, the Islamic Revolution was the United States' doing. If you're angry, if you don't like Iran because they're Muslim, the United States made them Muslim.
Yeah.
So,
and considering how they treat women, considering how our women behave, they may have had a point.
I think that maybe they did. Considering, the shit you're seeing now coming out of it. It's a bunch of women
shit on social media right now. Or it's like, hey, we could be liberation from what?
I'm
You're just
free,
all like,
so now I can be a whore and start an OnlyFans. Great.
Yeah, it's kind of disgusting.
How freeing for you. It is. It's sickening. This is what freedom is. Is this freedom? Really? Freedom is the freedom to be a fucking whore, a literal prostitute.
Also,
this is good for Iranian society.
Well, why not get the Goyim to whore themselves out so they can be ethnically replaced? Fucking shit, my words. My brain is thinking faster than I can talk.
Mighty Biscuit, if you think me being in the stream will stop me from donating some money, you're wrong. Also, Sword Fund, thank you, man. I will add that to the Sword Fund list.
I do think it is funny when someone who's on the stream donates to it. I don't know why. It's just an amusing chuckle thing about it.
I'll fucking do it again. Fuck you, Spoon.
Well, I didn't say it's bad. It just amuses me. I think I've been on one of the stream where someone did it.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
So this whole idea...
I get paid tomorrow, so I don't give a shit.
Oh, thanks, man. Don't worry about it, though. But,
don't share the wealth. That's something communists would do.
Well, see, now that you told me not to do it, I'm going to do it.
Oh, no, it's
it's not reverse psychology.
This whole idea, though, that we've been at war with these people for 47 years, is a war of aggression on the part of the United States. And Pete Hegseth, and it's also like, that's why we're not doing regime change. We're not doing regime change. We keep hearing that kind of stuff. No, it's not a war of regime change. Here it is out of fucking Pete Hegseth's actual fucking mouth.
Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel. This is not a so-called regime change war.
Yes, it is.
This is the important part, though.
Yes, it is. You lying
I know.
Shit.
Here's the important part, though. By the way, Pete Hegseth believes in all this prophetic Amalek shit. So keep that in mind when you hear anything that he fucking has to say.
Regime change war. But the regime sure did change.
No, it hasn't.
Sorry. I need to go back. What? We were not doing regime change, but we did regime change.
From Israel. This is not a so-called regime change war.
Yes, it is.
But the regime sure did change.
Okay, so it is now.
Fuck you.
Dude, with the Amalek shit, I mean, you and V said it was like some sort of full bullshit thing to bring the second coming of Christ back. But
not
just to be quick on it. Oh yeah, but first of all, nobody on this fucking earth can dictate when he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back when he says he's gonna come back.
Indeed. And thank you for the other 5 for the Sword Fund.
You're welcome.
Let's walk through it here, okay? So let me go back to the beginning. We've gotten deep in the weeds. So the United States and Israel did a strike in concert against Iran. I'm going to come back to this document. This is from the UK Parliament, House of Commons Library, because this document both has truths and a bunch of lies in it. I read through the whole thing, and I find it quite interesting. So on February 28th, 2026, Israel and the United States began a series of strikes against Iran, targeting the country's leadership, security forces, and nuclear program and missile sites. They said they aimed to induce regime change in Iran and to address concerns regarding their nuclear program. The strikes are reported to have caused both military and civilian deaths. In response, Iran has launched a series of counterstrikes against Israel, U.S. military bases in the region. And this is interesting because you'll see fucking brain dead. Oh my God. People who, the Wojak meme where the brain is sinking into the skull and forming into a hamster wheel. Why did the Arabs attack other Arabs? Because there are U.S. military bases, that's why, for fuck's sake. And I can't, I'm in a mood tonight. I've been in this mood since this shit happened. On the weekend, which is also interesting that it happened on the weekend before when the markets were closed. Because, by the way, guys, get ready for the fact that all of us are going to have to pay a shit ton of money in terms of the cost of living. Trump has admitted to this. Yeah, you're going to have to pay a lot more money. It's really going to suck for you, but I don't give a shit. I'm so angry. U.S. bases in Bahrain, Qatar, and Cyprus have also been attacked. The Royal Air Force has been deployed in a defensive capacity. The extent of military and civilian casualties is uncertain, as is the trajectory of the conflict. So, why did Israel and the U.S. launch the attack? My whole point here is that bringing up that in all official documents, the U.S. and Israel acted together on doing this. And that's because, in part, Bibi has wanted this for 40 years. I'm sorry, go ahead, sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm on a tear, so just interrupt me as you feel so inclined, because I'm about to go off. I'm furious.
Go off.
Our forces
go ahead, go off.
Growing intensity. This will only increase in the coming days, says Netanyahu. However, these are painful days. Yesterday here in Tel Aviv and now in Beit Shemesh, we lost dear people. We are in a campaign in which we are bringing the full force of the Israeli military as never before. To ensure our existence. Oh, whoa, what is... That's a little bit close to the 14 words now, isn't it, Bibi? To ensure our existence and our future. Sounds a bit 14-word fucking coded. With the assistance of the United States, my friend, Donald Trump, and the United States military, in this combination of forces allows us to do what I wanted to do for 40 years. To strike the terror regime decisively. That is what I promised, and that is what we will do.
The terror regime was never in fucking Iran.
You mean the terror regime the United States installed?
Yes.
Yes.
Apparently.
And even then, it was never even in Iran. What the fuck? Oh, Woodrow Wilson was a mistake.
He sure was.
No, actually, I disagree with that. I reconsider that statement.
I'll bring it up for you. 14 words. Okay, so when I say something is 14 word coded, what I mean is this. Is a Wikipedia article and everything. Is a reference to two slogans originated by the American neo-Nazi David Eden Lane. The 14 words are, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children.
Why is that bad?
Tell me. It's not bad. By the way, I've never understood why these words are bad. But there's a whole Wikipedia article on these words being haram, being unspeakable. And yet, Bibi Netanyahu...
The Aryan woman must not perish from the earth. Well, yes, because they're better looking than everyone else.
Sure. And yet, Bibi Netanyahu said a whole bunch of these words, just ignoring the white people part. You know what I mean? Netanyahu thinks he's the Messiah. He does. Yes, he does.
He's the Antichrist.
He is the Antichrist, if he's anything. But the IDF is out here tweeting about it. The fucking IDF. Israel has a right to defend itself.
You attacked Iran, you
Israel
shithead.
Started this attack. It is, I'm so sick of he cries out in pain as he strikes you, says the Juden. I'm sick of it. Every single time.
All right, calm down.
Oh, I'm mad. I'm
fucking hell. Like even I'm like, yeah, I'll like just yank the chain a little bit. Or calm down.
This is the equivalent of whacking a stick on a hornet's nest and then being mad at the hornets for stinging you. What the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Every such case with the Jews. Fucking A. And again, I'm not talking about regular Jewish people. I hate the whole, like, oh, I have Jewish friends. But I do, who hate this shit. Okay? This is Israel.
Of course they do, because this kind of bullshit leadership, when billionaires and leaders who parade their Jewish ethnicity and religion around like it's some fucking badge of honor and then do this kind of horseshit, this is exactly what led to the anti-Semitism that built the fucking Holocaust.
Well, yes. Why do you think that happened? Because they keep doing this shit. And it's because they believe they're fulfilling ancient prophecies, as we'll get into here. So,
ancient fucking prophecy.
Well, I mean, they do.
The land
was
promised to us 3,000 years ago.
Works. Okay. So, this is interesting. Middle East diplomat says Israel intervened to preempt diplomacy. This is important. When this attack occurred, the United States was in open diplomatic talks with the Ayatollah. And then quite literally stabbed them in the back. And I want to be really clear, is that this has a lot in common with when the CIA backstabbed the Kurds, which they did. Can I find a link on this? I didn't have this available. But the CIA did this exact thing with the Kurds, who the United States is now talking about arming the Kurds to go against Iran. This exact thing happened with the Kurds, and the CIA came in and fucking made them into enemies overnight. You cannot trust the United States. You can't. We are backstabbers. We backstab everyone. And in this case, quite literally.
We really are, because we did the same thing in the fucking 1930s. How do you think Hitler was able to rebuild the military so fucking fast when the Entente stripped Germany of almost all of its natural resources and its steel industry and everything? How do you think it was able to rebuild so fucking fast? The only nation on planet Earth that had the resources to do that was the United States. Henry fucking Ford provided Hitler and the Nazi Party with not just oil, but also engine parts, steel, refined steel, and the resources necessary.
Germany was maintaining their sovereignty. I'm going to be completely fucking clear there.
They were. And we did the same thing with the Soviet Union during World War II.
I'm so sick. These people do nothing but cause problems everywhere they go. It's why they've been expelled from 90 plus countries.
Aiden is not more base than me. Fuck off.
Spoon doesn't like the people.
No.
There's a reason why. When you keep betraying everyone, then people will start to form opinions about you. And again, I do not think it's everyday, ordinary Jews. Maybe some of them. But I have friends who are Jewish I have friends who are Jewish and are horrified by this shit. All right? Who are in the diaspora, to be fair. But this is insane. So, Middle East diplomat says Israel intervened to preempt democracy. Not democracy. Oh, I would have been great. I would have been very happy for that. Diplomacy. As negotiations between the U.S. and Iran this past weekend appeared to be close to success, Israel intervened to preempt diplomacy, a senior Middle East diplomat with direct knowledge of the recent talks told NBC News. Yet again, when negotiations got close to success, Israel has intervened, the diplomat said, adding, yet again, an Israeli tail is wagging the American dog. And President Trump is the dog. He's the bitch.
See, I think this just displays two major things. This is why, you said it already, this is why they've been kicked out of so many fucking countries, and this is also why democracy dies before it reaches 300 years of life.
Democracy dies for a lot of reasons. Michael de Doberman, for two, says, glass the sandbox. I don't want to glass the Iranians. My guy, they are an ancient people, they are not our enemy. They really
Yeah,
are.
I have nothing against the Iranians.
It's not just because I like Nima Parvini and I got his book sitting next to me, but like, it's not just that.
No, wait a minute. Instead of Iran, how about we just anonymously place a thermonuclear warhead inside of this city in the middle of the East? I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Mecca.
I don't want to blow them up. We have. Let me explain what happens here. All right, in a clear format. The United States has been heavily engaged to go to war against the Middle East. And what does that result in every single time? Post-war. A massive influx of immigrants from the Middle East. Because we destroy their country. So we must take them in. And understand for the Greater Israel Project. What is the Greater Israel Project? The Greater Israel Project means that Israel gets to take over the entirety of the Middle East, pretty much. What would Israel very much like to succeed in their conquering of the entirety of the Middle East, or a vast majority of it? Well, they would like to get a lot of those fucking Muslims out of there. And where are they going to put them? In your country. In your nation. In the United States. In Canada. In Britain. That's where they put them.
In Europe,
What's all this immigration shit about? That's it.
Libya and America's intervention is responsible for that shit. That's one of the reasons I oppose America basically fucking off out of any place out of the Middle East, because all of those people come into Europe. If you ever wonder why the Americans go, oh my goodness, Europe is so fucking cock, it's because your fucking foreign policy is responsible for those fucking people being there. So fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right, Arden. They'd have to replace the Indians in Canada now. But the reality is that right now, they are already anticipating 2.5 million Iranian refugees that are going to be coming to a country near you.
Oh, that's great. Let's kill their leaders and then flood them into Europe. Fucking pricks.
They have been doing this for 40 years. Iran is just the latest example. Israel wants to get as many people out of the Middle East as possible and put them into white countries, or formerly white countries, so that they can more easily take over those places.
I think this is a double-edged sword. They're kicking the Muslims out of the Middle East and leaving room for themselves, but they're also destroying Christendom.
They are as well, yes.
Because one other thing, I do want the Muslims gone too, but I don't want them dead or kicked out of the Middle East.
Just leave them in the Middle East.
Let's be clear.
The big thing I want is I want them converted to Christianity.
I don't want them. I don't want them converted or anything. I want to be really clear, because this is another one of these sort of stock takes that you're going to see on Twitter and other places. So, oh, you just love Muslims. No, I don't have any I have no love lost for Islam. I think it is a barbaric moon religion that basically worships Satan, and I have no fucking interest or concern for people who worship Satan also, or whatever. There are. I would say the one thing is that Sharia law does appear to keep women in check, which understandable why they did that. However,
I mean, Christianity did right up until secularism started taking over.
I am not pro-Islam. I'm extremely anti-Islam. However, I don't like them also being used as little pawns in this political chessboard. I find that to be repulsive, and I don't like any of it. I am not pro-Islam. I am not pro-Arab. And again, I will reiterate, Iranians aren't Arabs.
We are pro-Persian.
They're Caucasoids. Okay, I have to use the restroom. I'll be back real quick. Let me pull something up. This was an interesting article, a short little article. But the reality, I'll leave it up here. Because the next thing is, I'm going to...
Right up until Protestantism. Yeah, pretty much.
When I come back, I'm going to come back and I'm going to just debunk every single narrative around this shit. And the next one is, but they have nukes. I've already talked about it. I'm going to show you now definitively. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Negotiations between the US and Iran has past appeared close to success. Israel intervened, preemptive diplomacy. Yeah, okay, whatever. Senior Middle East diplomat with direct knowledge of the recent talks told NBC News. Yet again, when negotiations get close to success, Israel has intervened, the diplomat said, adding, vet again. Oh, yet, sorry, this fucking... Bloody hell, the screen is fucking tiny on my end. Oh, yet again, the Israeli tail is wagging the American dog. President Donald Trump has said that the U.S. sought repeatedly to make a deal to curtail Iran's nuclear program and negotiations, the ones you apparently killed 6 months ago in June, or 8 months ago. With Tehran, we tried, he said in a statement released on Truth Social, with the U.S. and Israel launching strikes on Iran early this morning. Yeah, which is a great idea, by the way. In his own statement in the morning, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Iran must not be armed with nuclear weapons that would allow it to threaten all of humanity. Dude, like, Iran has no desire to threaten all of its people because it's selling them oil.
Well, let's talk about that, shall we? About this idea that they have nukes.
There is an interesting comment I saw. Strong Islam is largely fanatic. Strong Christianity is investigative. Which is more dangerous to the Jewish faith? And that was said by Simply Green.
I think he's right there. Is that you do have to be worried about that. Is that, well, Muslims, by the way, like, it's in their books to, like, respect Jews a little bit, but the Jewish people have been trying to kick them out of their actual homelands for the past 100 years. So, and have done so successfully by importing them here to the West. Many Yusushai for 10 says there are now more Muslims in the United States, 4.5 million, than there are people in 24 American states. Replacement migration is real, and it has serious consequences. Let that sink in. Indeed.
You look at Dearborn. Dearborn, Michigan used to be like one of the nicest places in Detroit metropolitan area to live in, and now it's a cesspool.
It is. So, going back to where was I? It's all about nukes.
To say that about Detroit.
Right. This is all about nukes. Oh, real quick. Did I read this one? Bishop of the Railway for 5 says, Russian proverb, the Jew will always tell you what happened to him, but never tell you why. Indeed.
True.
In fucking deed. So here's this whole fucking narrative is that, well, because of nukes. We have to attack them because of nukes. Because they're going to build a nuclear weapon.
Afghanistan, 20 years of mission,
there's JD Vance.
20 years of not having a clear objective, and 20 years of the United States trying to bring liberal democracy to Afghanistan. Iraq was a little bit shorter, but we're still in that country for nearly a decade with no clear mission, no clear definition.
I need to point out, this came out on March 3rd. We're now on March 4th. All of this narrative has already changed. In 24 hours, it's already fucking changed. From, oh, no, this is just a temporary little limited operation. It's just going to take a couple of days to, it'll take a couple of weeks to now indefinite. By the way, from the latest reports on this, the latest statements on it is indefinite war in Iran until we get what we want from the administration.
Another fucking indefinite war that nobody has any idea when it's going to fucking end. It's not like the last one went horribly.
And I am going to fucking wait for apologies, for reconciliation from the fucktards on Twitter who said, oh, this is a little temporary strike. It will never occur because they will never admit it. Much like with COVID, as was brought up earlier by V. It will never happen. I think everyone, this situation, maybe more than anything else, is one where you got to take a look at what people who you follow say on this and how cucked they are and what kind of bullshit they've been saying. Because this is a dividing line in the sand. Do you understand what's happening here or not? Are you geopolitically retarded or not?
No. Fuck drawing a line in sand. Carve that fucking line in stone.
It should be. You're right. Carve it in stone. Figure out what people you follow on Twitter or YouTube or whatever. See what they're saying about this. And if they're cucking for Israel, I'm sorry, they're something wrong with their brain. This situation is so fucking obvious. We have seen everything playing up to this with Venezuela, with Greenland, with everything. It has been a play through this to say, oh, look, we can do a quick little operation, so this will be the same thing. And if you fall in for that shit, you're fucked, man. I told you I was going to be in a mood tonight. Let's go.
What's so
this does hurt. Oh, sorry. This does hurt my heart a lot because my mother, I love her to death. Sometimes she is base because I once asked her, what do you think is the biggest mistake in the Constitution? And she said, without hesitation, the 19th Amendment. So sometimes she's base, sometimes she's not. but she follows this guy. He's a black gentleman. Sometimes really well spoken. Sometimes no. He's a Christian black gentleman, extremely Protestant. So she recommended him to me. So I decided to press him, and I asked him what he thought in the Crusades, and he went on a long rant about how the Crusades were evil and disgusting. And when I pointed out to him that the Crusades were a response of Islamic aggression, he basically said, "Nah, it was." He fucking said that it was. He just said, "Nah, it was aggression against the Jews," and I'm like, "No, it fucking wasn't." Ugh.
Here's the thing with boomers. Okay, my parents are boomers. I love my parents. I love both my parents so much. But you can't talk to them about this stuff because they have been told their entire lives that Israel and the Jews are the most oppressed people on earth. And they desperately need our help at all times. I would say my mother's a little bit more woke on it in that sense. She's a little bit more aware than my father is. My dad is a Fox News. He watches this stuff. My dad sits here and watches Jesse Waters and JD Vance talk to each other, and he believes this shit. I don't know how much of it he believes, but and my mother does probably to an extent. But my mom also listens to me when I tell her, like, holy shit, no. But boomers live the shape shop, right? Of that I played earlier. The blacks living in this playground. That is the world that boomers live in. They also live in the shape shop, right? They live in a fantasy world.
My grandfather's the same fucking way. Oh my gosh, I love him to death. I absolutely adore this man. If it wasn't for him shoving aside the doctors and literally saving my life the day I was born, I would not be here right now.
Much indeed.
But it's at the same time, this same man will not stop lecturing everyone about how we need to protect Jerusalem, how we need to protect Israel, and then he turns around, he donates all this money to them, and then he turns around and tells me, "Oh, hey, by the way, this house you're living in right now that I barely own and I deny and neglect, yeah, I could decide at any moment to kick you out and make you homeless." Me!
That is the boomer truth regime. That's the boomer truth. They care more about Israel because of their religious attachment. They think they really believe in this stuff, and I'm going to get into it. But they really, hello, mom, your mother. I'm not saying you're bot, mom. She's in the chat. I know you listen to me, mom. I know.
Oh, hi, Aiden's mom. I love you, by the way. I listened to you on stream. Hi. I know. I've listened to her. She sounds very sweet.
She's very smart, love her too. I worry sometimes she falls for some stuff, but you know the episode. But she knows what's going on.
Well, that's every mom ever.
Where they look at the TVs and their faces and souls get trapped in there and then removed from their bodies unintentionally. Best TV depiction of boomers ever made. Of the average boomer, yes, it is. Where they just consume and become the depiction they see on television, and that's I guess because I think it's because they grew up with TV as being anything that's said on TV must be true, right?
Yeah. Speaking of boomers, I really hate because this whole thing was what I'm about to say is started with the boomers, but the whole hippie hyper pacifist Jesus, where you can never fight back against anyone harming you, but like no,
Christ is the sword and the shield.
Yes. If Jesus was this hippie pacifist, why did he go into the temple and start flipping tables and whipping people for corrupting the sole purpose of the temple, which was to be the house of God inside of Jerusalem so he could be amongst his people?
Indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Let's continue to watch a JD Vance.
Sorry.
No. We're all here to talk. I do have
that is fair, but I'm also interrupting the video, so go ahead.
This isn't a JD Vance waffle on about shit he doesn't fucking believe.
that the president has clearly defined what he wants to accomplish, and there's just no way, I said this before the conflict started, I'll repeat it again, there's just no way that Donald Trump is going to allow this country to get into a multi-year conflict with no clear end in sight and no clear objective.
Oops, by the way, there's no end to this war now, according to Donald Trump. And not just him, but those around him. It is a potentially endless war.
What is different about President Trump, and it's frankly different about Republicans.
I'll tell you what's different about President Trump is that he's the biggest fucking Zionist who's ever existed within the White House, and that's really hard to do.
Democrats of the past is that he's not going to let his country go to war unless there's a clearly defined objective. He's defined that objective as Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and has to commit long.
Why can Iran not have a nuclear weapon? And by the way, they've moved this position from an Iran can't have a nuclear weapon to Iran cannot have short-range missiles to defend themselves. We would not ask that of any other country on Earth. Sorry, say again, Spin?
Or any weaponry for that matter.
Yes.
It thinks Iran is this homicidal regime dedicated to killing everyone else around them. It's like, what fucking world do you live in?
And yet they've done nothing. They've funded terrorist organizations. That is
America's
self-defense.
the one that tried to overthrow regimes.
And by the way, also, America funds terrorist organizations. If I may elucidate you, America funds every terrorist organization for the most part. So the idea that Iran must
was
be
a
taken
CIA
down,
asset.
I just talked about how America funded Saddam Hussein, so that not just funded him, but supplied him with weapons. So excuse me,
Same with Osama bin Laden against Soviets in the 80s.
Yes. So the idea that well, the Ayatollah was funding terrorist organizations. If that is condemnatory, then the United States is condemned. Because we fund all kinds of terrorist organizations. Fuck off.
Long term to never try to rebuild their nuclear capability. It's pretty clear, it's pretty simple, and I think that means that we're not going to get into the problems that we've had with Iraq and Afghanistan.
You're in those problems already.
Why are we? Did he really just say we're going to go back to fucking Afghanistan?
Well, no, he was saying we're not going to be there. We're not going to do that. We are, by the way. What happened in Iran is identical nearly to what happened in Libya as to how the US handled it. But the long-term implications are going to be more similar to Iraq. Here is 30 years of Bibi Netanyahu telling you that Iran is days away from a nuclear bomb. So if you are one of those people, and I don't think many people watching here are, who believe that at any point, no, Iran, tomorrow, they're going to get a nuke. They've been a day away from getting a nuke for 30 years.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year. It could be within a few months.
That's in June, right last year, right before the United States did this, by the way. This is, to be very clear, the White House.gov. Iran's nuclear facilities. Oh, fuck off. Iran's nuclear facilities have been obliterated and suggestions otherwise are fake news. June 2025. This year.
I need to get a clip of you saying that.
Was June 12th.
It's just the way you just were like, oh, fuck off.
This shit on the left that came in and tried to tell me a little, look at this, give us money. Weeks before the U.S. obliterated, by its own admission, Iran's nuclear facilities. Bibi Netanyahu is saying, we gotta get rid of Iran's nuclear facilities. They're months away. 2 weeks later, they're gone. Last year. Let's listen to the rest of the 30 years he's been shilling this bullshit.
Within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is
weeks away
from having the fissile material.
Weeks away.
For an entire
2015
arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being
2012
percent of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb. Iran is gearing up to
2006, excuse me.
Bombs, atomic bombs a year. 250 bombs in a decade. Ladies and gentlemen, time.
1996.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
If not,
fuck off.
You know what? You know what? Just forget an execution sword fund. Let's just start a fucking fund to just renew the Crusades. Take back the Holy Land, take this retard out of power, restore the Kingdom of Jerusalem. Fuck everything.
I wish we could. Ultra Suck Over 2 says, don't latch on and escalate needlessly, please. I'm not latching on to anything. If I am, let me know, I suppose. I'm just saying, quite honestly and earnestly, I don't want other people to latch on to this idea of this holy war in Iran. That's what I don't want people to latch on to, because it's insane. It makes no sense. It is incoherent. Here's Ted Cruz admitting, Ted Cruz, who is all on board, he is Israel's #1 fan, admitting there is no evidence that Iran was anywhere close to having a nuclear weapon.
Can you tell us now if you believe that
Really?
there is an ongoing nuclear weapons program? One of the top arms control experts out there, David Albright, has written there should be an immediate priority on rapid response operations to secure Iran's nuclear stockpiles right now. Can you assure the public that it will be secured? And if so, who is doing it if there are no Israeli or U.S. forces on the ground?
Looks like such a
I love how they are given in collaboration and in consort. U.S. or Israeli. I'm sorry, is the United States a sovereign nation or not? Or are we just Israel too? Because at this point, I'm starting to think we're the latter. I don't like this, is United States or Israel, as if we are the same country. Because it really sends them out, and it's even the way they talk about it. We're the same country. The United States is Israeli occupied. This is ZOG, Zionist occupied government.
So there is no doubt that a year ago, Iran had an active and ongoing nuclear weapons program. We took out the vast majority of that at the end of the 12-day war. Where
That
Israel
U.S.
had
intelligence
taken out
assessment was not made public, if that is what was briefed to you.
It was made public. I just read it.
We took out.
Aiden, this is a journalist. You gotta take away a few brain cells and
I know.
Dip the IQ points by at least 150.
It was made public. I read it from the White House. You know what I mean? That wasn't made public. Only the White House made it public.
Will read anything before spitting it out on the news.
I guess so. But it's like, it's a CBS, by the way. I'm sorry. Only the White House made it public, I guess. Sorry, CBS investigative news journalist.
At the end of the 12-day war, where we dropped the equivalent of about a third of a nuclear weapon on those underground facilities like Fordo, which is built into the base of a mountain. The bunker buster bombs we used, Israel doesn't have those bombs. No other country has those bombs. We took them out last year. The Iranians were still hell-bent on rebuilding them. And one of the things we are doing right now is...
You mean their defensive capabilities? Yeah. But the message is clear. They don't have a nuke.
Taking out their missiles, in particular, the southern missile belt.
This has been like part of the shifting of the narrative is that, oh no, it's about localized ballistic missiles. They can't have localized ballistic missiles to defend themselves, because that's kind of like a nuke, right?
Right now, Iran is building roughly 100 missiles a month. They're actively building.
Every country should be allowed to do that. What the fuck is this? The United States gets to dictate what countries should be allowed to defend themselves or not. Fuck off.
Missiles to threaten their neighbors. And
they're firing some of them right now at their neighbors.
Yeah.
At our allies.
They're illustrating.
Okay, we're going to get to that in a minute.
Powerfully, they're attacking virtually every Arab neighbor.
Why are they attacking every Arab neighbor? Why? Is it just because, Iran's insane? They're lunatics. They're just randomly attacking all of their neighbors. No, they're attacking United States military sites in their neighbors' territory. That's what's happened. Fuck face, Ted Cruz. Oh my god, I hate this guy so much.
Surrounds them, they are firing missiles that it's almost like they want to illustrate to the world just how malign they are.
In terms of containing
the irony of that statement, how malign they are, you say, as the United States, doing this fucking foreign regime change shit in a country for a foreign power. Fuck off, Teddy.
Who's securing the nuclear material that you say still exists within Iran? Who's doing that?
Look, the quantity of nuclear material, I didn't say anything one way or another on that.
Answer the fucking question, retard.
Wait, you understand that he's avoiding this question. He's avoiding answering this question.
Yes.
Because of course he is. Because he's like, oh, well, I didn't say anything about that. Because the reality is that Iran has no nuclear program because you knocked it out last year. There was a fatwa against developing nuclear weapons by the Ayatollah. It's unbelievable. Rambam for £5 says, I've been saying for a while now, the real capital of the United States is not Washington, but Jerusalem. It is indeed, sir.
I said is they were building nuclear weapons a year ago, and our bombing took that out. They also had an ongoing...
So then why are we back in there?
Good question.
I don't have present-day intelligence on what progress they had made towards rebuilding nuclear weapons since we bombed their facilities. I have no indication that they were anywhere close to getting nuclear weapons because our bombing was devastating. And Margaret, that's...
Then why are we back in there?
Well, exactly.
What the fuck? If you don't know if they're even trying to rebuild nukes, then why are you going back in there claiming that you're trying to stop them from rebuilding nukes?
Yep. So, did Iran have nuclear weapons? No, is the answer. They did not. I'm going to bring up the Substack article, which is fantastic, from The Dissident. Meet the single shady source behind... Oh, sorry, this isn't the right one. That was the wrong thing.
Wow, you opened up the wrong article? Damn.
I did. The reality is
I thought you were intelligent.
I.e., let me see, where there was the nuke stuff. I don't know how this got out of order. Nukes destroyed last year. Yeah, I thought I had another thing on this. The multiple agencies have come out and said that they did not have nukes. It's somewhere here in my list. They don't. They don't have nukes. They obviously don't have fucking nukes. Somehow I've gotten this mixed up. But this is the next claim, which is that we have to go to war with Iran because they killed 30,000 protesters. Right?
What? Why? We never went to war with China when they killed their college students for protesting in Tiananmen Square.
Well, I'm just going through and debunking these claims, which is that Iran protest death toll could top 30,000 according to local health officials. This was a claim, and that's why we have to destroy Iran, is because they killed 30,000 protesters. 30,000 is an interesting number. It's a division of 6.
Oh, fucking shit.
If you believe in some weird fucking religious shit, 3 is a holy number in the same way that 6 is a holy number. So 30,000 versus 6 million, for example, are kind of holy numbers.
Oh yeah, because the mark of the beast, 666, is a mockery and an attempt to mirror the holy number of 777.
Yes. This is a Talmudic number, as Ginger Plumber brings up in the chat. So this idea of 30,000 were killed by the protesters, were killed by the Iranian regime. Well, where does that number come from? I'm going to tell you where that number comes from. That Time magazine claim came from a single journalist, a highly questionable source. Time magazine made a huge claim, and you're going to see this repeated everywhere, that the Iranian government killed 30,000 people in 2 days. First of all, try to think about the insanity of that number of people to be killed in 2 days.
That is absolutely that. Holy
how many cookies you got to cook in that? You got to burn in that oven, by the way, for that to be possible.
That is more people than, oh my gosh, the Battle of the Somme. I think, what was it, 27,000 British dead over the course of months, and that was open warfare.
Yeah. So the number makes no sense. So the person who's responsible for it, Amir Parasata, has been cited as an authority on the death toll of Iranian protesters. However, a closer look shows that he is not a neutral doctor, but a lobbyist for the Israeli-backed son of the deposed Shah of Iran, Reza Pahlavi, and for the American-Israeli regime change operation in Iran. Your fucking number! 30,000 protesters killed in 2 days? That insane number comes from one person, Amir Parasata. Parasta. This person, who is backed by Israel. That's where your 30,000 number in 2 days comes from. So if you think that the Iranian regime somehow killed 30,000 people in 2 days, look at where your information is fucking coming from. There is no external... And by the way, if they did kill people. Assuredly, okay? Almost assuredly, they killed protesters. We know that. But did they kill 30,000 protesters? No. I find that very hard to believe. One, because it's scientifically impossible.
You know something You know something I just realized? You mentioned that 6,030,000 are very interesting numbers and how they're kind of consistent. So have you heard of inspiring philosophy?
Yes. The thing is that Jewish religious extremists are extremely into numerology. And so numbers matter a lot to them. Yeah.
You can see that a lot in the Old Testament. Numbers are used repeatedly oh my gosh, what's the fucking term? He had an entire video on it where he explained how a lot of the ages in the Old Testament may not be literal ages, but in fact just numbers used.
Linked, yes. Because numerology means a lot to a lot of ancient religions, not just Judaism, but it means a hell of a lot to Judaism. And so when you start to see like, oh, it's 30, it's 3 and not 6, these numbers are important. There is, excuse me, to be clear, zero evidence that there were 30,000 people who were killed in these protests outside of this one Israeli-backed journalist. There is no... Gematria, Gematria, or whatever, however it's pronounced. That's where it all comes from. It doesn't exist outside of that. There's one person who is the claim of the 30,000 people being killed. Now, if Iran did that, and by the way, if they killed any amount of protesters, I do sympathize. However, their country is actively being taken over by the West. And by the West, I mean the United States and Israeli combined forces. Is that the West? Apparently it is. Apparently what the West is now is the Greater Israel Project.
Yeah, pretty much. I do want to say with Arden, I saw him say earlier, because he called me out and said that the divine number is 333. The angelic number is 333. 777 is a biblical sign of spiritual awakening, just 333 is the angelic
The reality
number.
is, whatever the truth is that this is magic shit that people think they're doing. I don't really care about the truth of it. I believe in God. I am a devoted Christian. However, I don't believe in all this magic number shit at all. So here's another excuse, which is that they were going to attack us any day. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I do believe in the mark of the beast, because the mark of the beast being forced upon people is one of the signs of revelations. Yeah.
I think it's happening right now.
I think so too. Sadly.
So one of the other, I agree. One of the other sort of excuses is that, well, we had to do it because Iran was going to attack literally any day. Here's Trump admitting, no, they weren't. hears from his orange, tiny little mouth saying, no, they weren't.
We were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack if we didn't do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the explanation. I'll get into the thing next. Sorry, I got confused. I'm riled up. This is the explanation. They're going to attack any day. We had to do it. We had to do it. We had to do it right now.
Attack if we didn't do it. They were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that, and
you felt, did you?
Great people.
What fucking proof do you have that they were going to attack? You can't just make a blind.
We're going to go into it because the reality is that there was zero proof that they were going to attack at all. But this was the narrative. It wasn't just from Trump, but you can hear it from his fucking tiny little orange mouth. By the way, again, I've said this before. I voted for this fuckstick 3 times.
So did I.
In hopes he would do anything positive for America. He has done nothing. And I am I know that many of you in the chat also voted for him and think, well, I've got a sunk cost fallacy. I voted for him. I have to hope that this motherfucker came out here when discussing this shit before this clip, talking about, oh, have you seen the new drapes? Have you seen the new drapes? It looks great here in the White House. I made everything gold. That's what he's concerned about. Fuck him.
See, it's like I said earlier, don't draw the line in the sand, carve it into fucking stone. And for me, Trump crossed the line all the way back in fucking November of last year.
Spoon, you and I have been critical of Trump for years. But I think we can say definitively at this point that there is no question anymore that Trump is the enemy. Spoon, what do you think?
This, yeah.
Yes, I agree. And I think that because he's the enemy on this, I don't know. Lol TDS, motherfucker. Again, I voted for the guy 3 times. When he does things that betray me, that betray the American people, that's not Trump derangement syndrome. I voted for this man 3 fucking times. I supported his regime every fucking... I have a fucking Trump card from the White House. It's in my wallet.
No. Trump derangement syndrome is just going absolutely apeshit for no fucking reason because CNN told you to do so. What you're doing is seeing that he has betrayed every single one of the values that you voted him in for and watching him betray all of them.
Yes. It's very different. We expected this. We called this a year ago. Trump called it first. But in terms of people I know who called it first, I'm sure others did as well.
And see, I rolled my eyes at you guys when you said that. I was like, this is a bit too early. It's only a few months into his new reign. You got to give it a little longer. And then by around November, I was like, holy fucking shit. Spoon and Aiden were right. Why didn't I fucking listen to them?
Well, here's the thing. I don't want anyone to have to, grovel or some shit and be like, we were right. The reality is that Spoon and I make observations of political reality. And anyone can do that. It's not difficult. You just have to uncuck your brain. And everyone can see this. Everyone can see what's going on. It's not that complicated. Just uncuck your brain. Rid yourself of the sidesism of Republican versus Democrat. No, it is truth and reality and justice versus fucking Satan. Okay?
That is sadly a really difficult thing to do, because speaking personally, even after I started watching Spoon and started agreeing with him, it wasn't until the past few months, because I started watching him way back when he first uploaded his first video on Just Some Guy. That was my first video ever by him.
Yeah.
No, that was my first video that I watched from him.
Yeah.
And it still took me up until very recently to do what you said, just uncuck my brain. So it took me a few years to do this.
And it's okay. It's okay for it to take a while. It's okay for you to have to work through this stuff. And by the way, I just want to say this, is that nobody's going to hate you for falling for it. Just stop falling for it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we request, is not that nobody, maybe some people will, but fuck them. I'm not going to judge you if you fell for it. I've fallen for it in the past. We all do. The one person that I fell for who has been consistent, and therefore I guess maybe not a falling for, is Ron Paul. And Ron Paul has been on point about all of this for the last 40 years. Elder Stogger 5 says, if every path is blocked, make a new one. Listen to Jesus. Test all things, that which is good indeed. So, anyway, I'll finish this clip.
Their lives very successful.
He is a Brown, yes.
Based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first.
So they were going to attack first.
I want that to happen.
Is Trump's claim is that he had to attack because Iran was going to attack first. No, they weren't. This is from the Pentagon. Pentagon tells Congress no sign that Iran was going to attack first. No sign. Sunday's remarks to Congress appeared to undercut the key arguments of the war made for the senior administration officials. They told reporters the day before that Donald Trump launched the attack in part because of indicators Iranians might strike the U.S. Forces in the Middle East, perhaps preemptively. Trump, one of the officials said, was not going to sit back and allow American forces to absorb the attacks. But the reality is that there was no evidence. His missile claim was not backed by U.S. intelligence reports and appeared to be exaggerated. Questions about the justification of the war came from the U.S. military.
When the very people who also want a war because they can profit off of it are telling you you're wrong on your reason for going to war, that's fucking crazy.
Indeed.
This whole fucking thing just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Manu Tsushai for 10 says, ideology is just a pair of handcuffs to the idealists and useless idiots. But to those who can see the physics of power, to see the reality as it is, not as we want it to be, you are free. Indeed. And the truth and the reality is that there was no threat from Iran. This was all bullshit. This is from the Wall Street Journal, which, by me saying, even bringing up the Wall Street Journal, the kind of Trumpian retard MAGA response, and I'm going to call it retard MAGA, will be, oh, you can't read something from the Wall Street Journal. Whatever.
Or
the threats from Iran were not
Magatard.
It's everything. Everyone knew this was not the case. That there was no imminent threat from Iran. Not at all. Not even a little.
I think your microphone gave out for a second there. Because right after I said Magatard, you kind of went silent and then it just came back.
Sorry. So Pete Hegseth has assured the American people that this is not another forever war. By the end of this stream, you will hear him completely 180 on this, in that, yeah, maybe it is a forever war.
Of course.
To the media outlets and political left screaming endless wars. Stop. This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. Our generation knows better, and so does this president. He called the last 20 years of nation-building wars dumb, and he's right. This is the opposite.
You already admitted it. He admitted that it's for regime change. So, okay. We got the regime change.
Another thing, if he said the previous wars were dumb, why is he repeating? Why is he trying to repeat them? Because the last two wars were said, oh, this is going to be a 2-week adventure, in and out. No, just 20 minutes. And then they turned into 20 years. And he's saying the same fucking thing they did 20 years ago. And people are fucking falling for it.
Who is he trying to convince, Panicky Pete? Ask Scud. Retards who fall for this shit. Boomers watching Fox News. They fall for this. They believe it. They absolutely believe it.
5 years ago.
You can always, that's the thing, you can always change. if you believe this shit, if you think that, I'm asking, if you're one of these people who's on the fence and saying like, I really like that Trump's going after Iran, this is power display. I'm going to show you guys, if you've not already seen it so far, that this has nothing to do with power in terms of, oh, we're going to take out an actual foe. This was done on behest of and in facilitation of the Greater Israel Project and has nothing to do with the United States outside of our involvement with it, which is done by a proxy of Israel.
In support of your comment about you have to that you can change, in support of it, if Saint Paul, a man who was slaughtering Christians, who viewed Christians as nothing but cattle for slaughter, just trophies to kill and hang up, if he could change to be one of the most devout disciples of Christ.
Yes, on the road to Damascus, Saul was transformed into Paul. A murderer of Christ's believers became one of his most ardent supporters. If that can happen, you can figure this shit out. Okay? You can figure it out. And
if I can fucking change, a stubborn autistic motherfucker who thought America could never do any wrong, you can fucking change.
Everyone can. It's all right. And don't be ashamed of necessarily being wrong in the past. We've all been wrong in the past. I voted for this motherfucker 3 times. It's okay. I'm not upset about it because I understand how cognitive dissonance works. Just if you can understand that stuff, I mean, like, just don't allow cognitive dissonance to hijack your amygdala. That's all I'm asking. Do not allow cognitive dissonance to hijack your amygdala. Use your brain that exists outside of your amygdalic response to think about these things fucking cogently rather than thinking about them emotionally, and it will make sense. You're fine. You're not a bad person. You're not wrong. You're not in any way dysfunctional because you fucking believed this fucking charlatan. However, now is the time to figure it out.
Oh yeah, I was 12 degrees retarded. I was bordering on being a furry.
Yeah, oh well, that's different. You shouldn't do that.
This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes.
Great. You did nothing to that. There were no nukes. You destroyed their Navy, sort of, but they're still, the Gulf states are still blocking the Strait of Hormuz, so you're fucked. And there's trading with China and not with you.
Israel has clear missions as well, for which we are grateful. Capable partners. As we've said since the beginning, capable partners are good partners. Unlike so many of our traditional allies who wring their hands and clutch their pearls, hemming and hawing about the use of force. America...
Fuck off. Fuck off. There's no nukes. So, I wanted to bring this up. Oh, sorry. Wrong order. It's an endless war, is sort of what Hegseth was getting to there. It's as ever long as we need. The Ayatollah Khamenei is dead. Here's what that means for Iran's leadership. We know he's dead. Here's what they did to accomplish that. They didn't just kill the Ayatollah. They killed his entire family. Daughter and grandchild of Iran's Khamenei killed in U.S.-Israeli strikes, state media says. I want to show you, and I wouldn't normally do this because I kind of hate this sort of thing. But I do want to show you that Iranians are not stinky browns, whatever, garbage fucking bullshit you've heard. This is the Ayatollah's granddaughter who was killed.
Oh.
If you're some kind of white nationalist or whatever and you care about the race of these people, this is his little granddaughter who was slaughtered by the United States.
See, it's not the skin color that bugs me. It's the fact that it's a tiny toddler that was killed.
I'm just saying because there's people who are like, well, who gives a fuck? They're brown. There are people who think things like that.
Oh yeah.
Are you happy that this little child was
people.
murdered? This child was slaughtered.
Oh, fuck.
In America's in America's war for Israel. This innocent little girl was slaughtered, and I know this is feminine of me.
Feminine? What do you mean? I'm pissed about this. I want to be a fucking dad. This shit.
This is the little girl you killed. I'm not gonna fuck around with that shit. Eldritch Sucker for 5 says, I think I'm done with political stuff for a while. I'm gonna focus on family, money, and health. Politics and voting is just pointless. It is indeed, Eldritch. It is. That's the whole problem. This is what you got. You killed this man's family. All of them. And not only did you kill his family, you killed his replacements. Trump says all of his candidates for Iran leadership killed in strikes. This is Trump's own words, and I'll show it to you here. Whoops, we accidentally killed all the people. We not only killed him and his whole family. His family! Who didn't do anything. They killed their own successors. They wanted to put in place in this regime change war.
Right now, because you said all the people you did have in mind have been taken out. What do you?
Well, most of the people we had in mind are dead. So we had some in mind from that group that is dead, and now we have another group. They may be dead also.
Okay, whoa, what the fuck?
They're
I'm
also
sorry,
dead.
Aiden.
They're all dead. All our people, we killed them all.
Fuck right off, Ori. A little girl who wasn't married off at 9, probably for the best. Fuck off.
I agree. Ori, I didn't agree with that either, my dude. That was a really fucked up statement. The little girl was 3 or 4 years old. She was white. If that matters to you, she was white like us. If that matters. And I think in this situation, people have to think about that. A lot of these fucking white nationalists or whatever go, great. Fucking kill the brown Arabs. That was a little white girl because she's a Caucasoid, just like us. Just like the Ayatollah was. Just like most Iranians are. They're Caucasoids. There are people. What are you doing?
I understand that people like us will joke about that kind of shit. And part of me does believe in European cultural supremacy, but that's the big thing, is cultural supremacy, not racial genetic. Like, dude, what? These are children. They don't fucking understand. They don't know.
Cult shit. Uh-oh, what's happening?
No.
I'm getting an F. Spoon?
No, it's there.
We good?
Green. Oh, it's all green on mine.
Okay.
So.
Oh no, why are we getting an F?
Oh
no, did we get... Okay, we're good. Oh, it's fine. All right, we'll finish watching this. Oh, we already did. It's done. Okay,
I keep forgetting Spoon is in the call because he's so quiet.
I knew I was going to carry tonight. So Iran was offered a ceasefire, and they said no. They said they will continue as long as necessary. In which case, the U.S. responded of like...
and then tried to attack them during it. So, yeah, Iran can understand
we're
why they're going to go fuck off.
We're continuing. Indeed, Spoon. The United States has continued to attack them while demanding a ceasefire. Iran says, no, fuck off, because they continue to attack them. And the U.S. goes, actually, no, it's not over. It's not a little, like, infiltration, in and out, extraction situation like we had in Venezuela, as much as they want you to believe it's just like Venezuela. Here's Pete Hegseth now updating. It's going to take weeks, maybe months.
Right here. Secretary Hegseth, thank you. Reagan Reese with the Daily Caller. You touched on this in your opening remarks, but I'm hoping you could expand on it a bit. It's been reported that Iran might be trying to outlast our ability to intercept their missiles. It sounds like you guys are saying they don't have the ability to do so. Is that the case? Can they outlast us in their ability to do that?
No,
Iran cannot outlast.
I know.
Yes, they can. They can outlast you.
They can. They can outlast for 3,000 years. They're going to outlast you. Motherfucker.
We're going to ensure through violence of action.
And by the way, I want to be clear. I get called a third worldist for stating the obvious, that Iran has been around, that the Persian people have been around for 3,000, really closer to 5,000 years.
Third world.
Right. You're a third worldist. You're a third worldist. No, I'm a realist. I'm an honest person, and I'm telling you that you're not gonna fucking overtake Iran in a day, for fuck's sake. And now the U.S. government is admitting, no, we're not gonna overtake Iran in a couple days. It's gonna take months.
Trying to understand something doesn't mean you're a fan of it.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. I don't know why that's so hard to understand.
Important thing that needs to be understood. Just because we are accepting and understanding and doing analysis of political reality does not mean that we are fans or haters of anything. Get that fucking shit out of your cucked brain.
Understanding something does not mean you support it.
Yeah.
There is a notion called know thy enemy.
We're cutting out a bunch apparently, Spoon. Is
I'm
it
going
YouTube
to
or?
finish all right. Oh, some green here.
I can hear you
I don't
just
know.
fine. Aiden, you cut out sometimes for some reason, Aiden, but otherwise I hear you just fine.
It's
There you
Discord.
go.
I have to turn my thing down even lower. Now it sounds very low. Okay. So here we go. Could last eight weeks.
And our offensive capabilities and our defensive capabilities, as I said, that we set the tone and the tempo of this fight. That's why stories and speculation about different things that try to make it look like we're limited in what we can do. The only limits we have in this is President Trump's desire to achieve specific effects on behalf of the American people. And that's why we don't talk about, you can say 4 weeks, but it could be 6, it could be 8, it could be 3. Ultimately, we set the pace and the tempo. The enemy is off balance, and we're going to keep them off balance. And we know their ability to shoot versus our ability to defend.
Just to be clear, who gives a
Except
fuck about the rest
that,
of the fucking bullshit he said?
That sentence doesn't even make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
Does any of it make any fucking sense?
Understand that how this was sold to the American people.
You're not defined by your own actions. If you want to do a job, it's defined by how well the enemy is getting defeated.
And by the United States' own stated goals, is that this was a, precise incision attack. And now we're hearing from Pete Hegseth, who said that exact thing, is that, could be months. The reality is that it's going to be months. It's going to be years. And it's not just going to be... One thing that's also been stated is that no boots on the ground, no boots on the ground. Well, Trump won't roll out sending U.S. troops to Iran if necessary. Tells post-war is progressing way ahead of schedule. The reality is that Trump will send troops on the ground.
Yeah, that's the next
if
phase.
he believes it's necessary, which it will be in the next phase, exactly. Why are they doing this? This is Israel's Benny Gantz,
Do you think eventually...
who is also talking about Israeli boots on the ground. Because understand that all of this, again, is a joint U.S.-Israeli action.
Do you think eventually there will be a need for boots on the ground?
I would not exclude it for those reasons or other, but we'll have to see how it goes forward.
And will that include Israeli boots on the ground, do you think?
I exclude nothing. We've been waiting for 47 years.
I exclude nothing. We've been waiting for 47 years to do this. To bring about the destruction of Amalek. And again, if this seems insane, I'm going to move into this in a second. They genuinely believe this shit.
And we came to a point with every necessary means should be taken in order to achieve.
Okay, we got it. Everything is necessary. So what comes next? I don't know. And no one knows. The Trump administration has given no indication of what comes next. So I want to show you Charlie Kirk asking the same question. What comes next if you take out the Ayatollah?
You can see RT.
What comes next? RT's posted this flashback, yes?
No, it's curious.
Western
normally
Force
RT is sensitive.
Central Planning.
Yes, I mean, it's Russia today.
Yeah.
But the reality is that Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated last year, was someone who spoke out about this.
Western Force.
It's convenient that he spoke out about it and then was killed.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk, I think, was killed for a multitude of reasons. And one of the reasons is because he was a critic of Israel. Even though he was the biggest Israel dick rider for years, near the end of his life, he became increasingly critical of Israel. Right before he died.
He was doing too much noticing.
He sure was. Sorry, I'm going to play this one more time.
Western forced central planning regime change is if we are just going to take out the Ayatollah. Oh, really? What comes next?
Good question.
What comes after regime change?
Good question.
Might be, oh, well, we need a small number of U.S. troops to support the new regime. We have seen this play before. Regime change, you have no idea how this is going to work out. You have no idea.
Kirk's job was to manufacture consent for this, Midnight Exile says. Midnight in Exile. You are right. Charlie Kirk's assassination and career were part of the manufacture of the consent for this war in Iran. Do not be deceived. His assassination was part of the manufactured fucking consent. And if you fall for it and you consent, you have fallen for everything. I'm sorry. The reality is that there is no plan, though. What you must understand about the elites is that they are super powerful, but they are also human and therefore retarded. Which means that they do things like this with no fucking plan. There is no plan. They just thought they'd take out the Ayatollah and they'd be able to fucking get out and do the shit they want to do for Israel. They can't.
Moving forward in a social media.
This is Lindsey Graham that she's speaking to, by the way. Lindsey Graham, who is the ultimate fucking warhawk piece of shit, who Trump chose over people like Tucker Carlson. This is who Trump chose as his guy. Lindsey Graham, one of the most greedy, vicious warhawks in D.C. A vile, disgusting, bloodthirsty fuck. This is who Trump chose. Lindsey Graham.
President Trump wrote this, quote, hopefully the IRGC and police will peacefully merge with the Iranian patriots. And
by the way, the IRGC is going to take over the fucking country. Probably.
Work together as a unit to bring back the country to the greatness it deserves. Is hope the plan for the future of Iran?
Call him a fairy and be done with it. Yeah.
No, the future of Iran is going to be determined by the Iranian people. The new Iran...
No, you mean directed by the United States, but okay.
Whatever it is, whether it's a cleric or a representative democracy, our goal is to make sure it cannot become again.
I'd like to point out a cleric or a representative democracy. So things that you all put in place and then have decided to destroy. I'm tired of this. You did all this stuff. You did all of this. You did all of this. You gave them they had a representative democracy. You overthrew it. Because it was too socialist. Because they retained control of their oral. And let's fucking be clear about what socialist means in this stance. They were pro-Russia, and they wanted to nationalize their oil. So they actually had control over it. What is that? That's not some fucking gay commie bullshit. They wanted to have nationalized control over their fucking oil supplies. That's what that meant. Oh, you're a commie. Fuck off. You know?
Heaven forbid a sovereign nation has control over its own natural resources.
Well, apparently if you do that, that makes you a commie. Now, if the U.S. does it, it's fine.
Also, another thing, this whole notion of first and third world countries is fucking retarded. Do you know where the whole terminology of first and third world countries comes from?
Oh, I forget.
It was the Cold War.
But there's a specific... Spoon, do you remember who came up with the term first and third world nations? I'm trying to think of it.
I don't remember his name.
There's a specific dude who that is attributable to.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
It is. because it was designed so first world countries were the good and great democracies, and then the second world countries were the dirty, filthy commies, and then third world countries were any place that didn't yet have a democracy but also weren't yet a communist or socialist place.
Well, go ahead and call me a dirty, filthy commie. I'm gonna go on, like I said, on Friday with my friend Commie Mark on his channel. Look, I understand every single day, more and more, the actual, legitimate, original communist sympathies. I understand them more and more every single day. I understand what Stalin did was an incredible display of power that has maybe never been seen before since the Roman Empire. I don't like that stuff, but the reality is that this is cucked and pathetic, and maybe a little bit of socialism for your country, for people who are members of it, could be kind of good. And instead of using communism as a fucking bogeyman.
The largest state-sponsored terrorism.
I'm sorry, I'm so pissed off about this. I'm getting a little nat-socked pilled, if I'm being completely honest. I've been going that way for years.
You are
and I'm
perfectly fine.
I'm so pissed off about this stuff. It makes me so irate.
You're perfectly fine, Aiden. I'm not. I'm not gonna.
Look, I was trying to spoon to respond to that
you.
a little bit more, but like, don't worry about it. Like, it's all good.
Yeah.
In my heart of hearts, as all retards are, I'm a libertarian. I wish we could do non-interventionism. I really think people should have listened to what the fuck Dr. Paul has been saying for the last 40 goddamn years. You should have listened. You could have listened. And you didn't listen. I know that people here did. I know people here did. But the American people did not.
It's a win for us.
We haven't been listening for 200 fucking years.
Yeah.
Sure that happens, Senator? Is there a plan? Does the president have a plan to guarantee that that happens?
No, it's not.
No, he does not.
Or my job to do this.
It's not our job to come up with a plan of what the fuck we're supposed to do. Yeah,
This
Professor
is sounding
John,
an awful lot like
stuff.
Vietnam.
We are in full Vietnam mode, yes.
How many times do I have to tell you? Our job is to make sure Iran is no longer the largest state sponsor of terrorism, to help the people reconstruct.
Why the fuck? In the same way the United States. Oh my god. Fucking shoot me in the face. The United States is the greatest global sponsor of terrorism that has ever existed. So save me the bullshit, Lindsay. Save me it.
Construct a new government, no boots on the ground. We don't own, you know this idea you break it, you own it? I don't buy that one bit. It's in America's interest to make sure the Ayatollah is dead. He's dead.
And his whole family is dead. And now, despite initially seeking a ceasefire, the United States, as of about 6 hours ago, has rejected an Iranian ceasefire. Iran reached out to the CIA to discuss an end of conflict. Trump said, it's too late. It's because ceasefire was never on the fucking table, because this is about some weird fucking prophetic shit involving Israel. And it has absolutely nothing to do with Iran's actual capitulation or actual ability to respond to the United States. Iran cannot respond. Yes, he is John McCain's skinwalker.
Here's another fucking question. If the United States has been calling for a ceasefire with Iran this entire time, then
we bombed them, we attacked them, and then went, ceasefire? Maybe?
So what made 6 hours ago the it's too late point?
Because it was never actually about a ceasefire. If the United States had actually gotten a ceasefire from Iran, they would have gone back on it. We would have gone back on it and immediately attacked again. It was not about a ceasefire. They didn't want a ceasefire. They knew it was absurd to ask for a ceasefire. It's when you ask someone for a, so in persuasion theory, it's called foot in the door, door in the face. It's called door in the face. That's it. Where you ask for something way bigger than you could ever possibly hope.
and then you bring it down to something more reasonable. The U.S. asked for something way bigger than they could ever possibly hope. They got it, and they said, no, it's actually not what we wanted. We want you to be destroyed. So
you know what this kind of reminds me of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sound like an autistic historian here, but World War I, 1918, the United States gets involved. The war starts turning around. France and England start asking Germany for a ceasefire. And as this bullshit is all happening, France and England are continuing to fire artillery and bomb the absolute shit out of Germany and the German line, and are continuing to ask for a ceasefire. And of course, Germany keeps saying no because they're still being shot at. It wasn't until later in 1918 when Germany was starting to realize, oh fuck, we have nothing left. We are drained completely dry. And if we continue this for another 1 to 2 years, our entire empire will collapse, and there's nothing we can do about it. Only then did they actually start coming to the table and negotiating for a ceasefire. And even then, France and England continued to bombard the German line and the German state with bombs and artillery.
Indeed. It is, with America, you lose. And with Jews, you lose. Because they are attached at the hip. You cannot trust the American empire, you cannot trust the American government to ever uphold its promises. We have betrayed we have betrayed not only every enemy, but every ally.
And the fact that Woodrow fucking Wilson encouraged the French to double down on their revenge spree against Germany for the defeat at the Franco-Prussian War was, I didn't know. I thought that was just purely France being assholes. I didn't know Woodrow Wilson pushed France into continuing to demonize and dehumanize the German people post-war.
Of course they were. Of course they were. Because they rose up and they specifically named the problem within their country, which was Jewish hegemony. They named it, and that is an absolutely inconquerable sin. You named.
Here's
they
the
named
other
a
thing.
Jew. And I want to be really clear about the Holocaust, by the way, because everyone talked about this. The vast majority of people, and this is in real statistical records, who were killed as a result of World War II were white Europeans. They were the ones who died.
Mostly Germans and Russians.
In the incalculable numbers, via starvation, via war. It was white people in the Brother War who were killed for Israel's mission. And what happened as a result? Israel won. Israel was created as a result of World War II. And Israel has been dog-walking America ever since. I want to bring this up. I brought this up here because a lot of people are saying, oh, it's because we're actually attacking China. We're attacking China. New Statesman. The war in Iran means for China and Russia. We're attacking our enemies by proxy. I'm not going to read this article in full, but there's tons of articles like this. It's like, actually, here's the reality. The state of the Gulf of Hormuz remains open. Iran to allow only Chinese vessels through the Strait of Hormuz. The strait, which provides the Persian Gulf ports access to its open sea, is a key checkpoint that Iran has blocked since the conflict began, with the exception of to the Chinese. If this is anti-China, the only country that's getting anything out of Iran right now, anything out of the entirety of the Gulf states, is China. By the way, you, at home in America, or wherever you live in the West, all of your gas prices are about to go through the fucking roof because of this. The one thing, the one thing you could say that was good under Trump, too, was that gas prices were down. They're about to go through the fucking ceiling. And by the way, Trump says he doesn't give a flying fuck. And you have to deal with that. I'm going to get to that in a second here.
Yippee.
He doesn't give a flying fuck. Deal with it's what he says. Here it is. Oil trade through the Strait of Hormuz by country. China is the vast majority. 37.7%. Not majority, it's what do you call it? The plurality. Okay. Then India, then other Asian countries, then South Korea, then Japan. Then all the way at the bottom you have Europe and other. Who is the strait open to? China. This does nothing. It does nothing to China. It does everything to anyone else who gets oil through the Strait of Hormuz. You are so fucking brain dead if you bought into this shit. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude. But enjoy your new price of oil, as Trump is going to tell you from his fucking tiny little face.
I'll tell you what, I have never had more compliments on something I did. People felt it's something that had to be done. So if we have a little high oil prices for a little while, but as soon as this ends, those prices are going to drop, I believe, lower than even before.
Deal with it, nerd. Deal with your high oil prices. The question here becomes, Spoon, are you there?
Yo.
The question here becomes, Spoon, what happened with Trump? Why is he doing this? Did he fall for his own propaganda vis-a-vis Venezuela?
No, I think this was always the case, and he's just the president in charge. There's a permanent deep state bureaucracy that sits there regardless of who's president.
There you go. I've seen some people saying, oh, he bought his own propaganda because of Venezuela.
Nah.
I think Venezuela was done to convince you, the rube, I'm not saying you watching as a rube, but people who that they think are rubes, that Iran would be just another Venezuela. And I say that because it is consistent.
No. Yeah. I mean, Spoon, you called this out, few years ago? Even during the Biden administration, you called Trump a basic bitch 90s liberal Democrat who just looked radical by today's standards because the goalpost was moved so far left that it made someone like Trump look like a reasonable conservative.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know what video that was.
And I said all of that about Venezuela because they're talking openly about it. Is that Venezuela seemed to have emboldened Trump. What I actually think that means is that it didn't embolden Trump. It emboldened you, the American onlooker, to go, if we could do that in Venezuela, we could just do that in Iran, right? It was all set up to make you buy into this fucking theater.
Mary, thanks. The president did speak to our chief Washington correspondent, John Karl, overnight. John joins us right now. John, the president promised to keep the United States out of foreign wars, but at this point,
sure did.
Modern president.
Now, the current fucking paradigm and narrative is that Trump never promised that he would keep us out of foreign wars. We'll get into that.
Has ordered more military strikes against more countries.
It's the biggest. It is the biggest, most open-faced lie that's ever been fucking peddled that Trump didn't run on no foreign wars. When Trump bombed Syria 2 months into his first presidency, myself as a big Trump supporter, I had to reconsider this. And if any of you didn't, it's okay, but you should have. The first cracks in Trump for me happened a month into his first fucking term in office when he bombed Syria. And I went, that's not what I voted for. That is a lie. That is a betrayal. Sorry.
Than Donald Trump.
All democracy is one big theater of populism and bureaucracy.
It is. Indeed. It is.
Yeah, I mean, this whole secularism, populism bullshit is just proof that relativism and secularism is a failing system, because when everything is relative, everything is on the table, and that includes evils. You need a moral absolute at the foundation of any nation that has to be followed and remained unchanged. If the microsecond anything about a society becomes relative, that's the second that the whole thing becomes liquid and everything becomes permitted and truth is no longer truth.
Indeed. And we are in a post-truth society.
Who feels invincible. He talked about the military strike he ordered last summer against the nuclear program in Iran. He talked about the operation to take out Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela and what he sees as a wildly successful attack now underway against Iran.
Anything but.
He told me, quote, "Nobody could have done this but me, and you know that." In fact, George, he suggested that the success in Venezuela made him less likely to accept concessions in Iran that were offered in the final round of talks. He told me that a year ago he would have accepted what the Iranians offered, but, quote, "We have become spoiled."
But the president did.
Where should it go from that? We have become spoiled. I will not. Let's be clear. Trump would never have accepted any sort of capitulation from Iran because it's not about that. It's about bringing forth their fucking insane prophecy. I'm about to get there. But you have to build this pretense up to it because it makes no sense. Every fucking narrative about this war, I am breaking down in real time to show you that none of this makes any fucking sense.
Didn't offer a lot of clarity on what comes next.
No, he told me that he had been in touch with one member of the regime. He wouldn't say who it was, one surviving member.
Of course.
He suggested that before the strike...
One surviving member of the Iranian regime, because by his own admission, he killed all of them.
He had identified possible candidates within the...
And then admitted he killed all of them.
...take over the way Delcy Rodriguez did after Maduro was taken out in Venezuela. But he said the attack was so successful,
And by the way, what happened in Venezuela, I will want to remind you once again, the reason for the removal of the Maduro regime in Venezuela had nothing to do with Maduro. It had nothing to do with drugs coming across the border and had everything to do with trading oil to fucking Israel. It had everything to do with that. And the second that Maduro was removed, guess what? Venezuela's back to trading oil with Israel.
Knocked out most of the candidates. It's not going to be anybody that we were thinking of because they are all dead. Second or third place is dead. As for how long this is going to go on, he said it could be he said he was planning for 4 or 5 weeks. Could be longer.
Remember, originally we were told instant. It's over now. 4 to 5 weeks. This guy's been told. We're hearing 8 weeks, months, years.
And it's pretty clear this is personal for the president.
Well, look, in 2024, while Biden was president, U.S. intelligence believed that Iran was plotting to kill the candidate Donald Trump.
Don't go back and blame Biden. Shut the fuck up.
Well, it's all a bunch of bullshit. Who gives a fuck? I don't care about the rest of this bullshit that comes out of this man's mouth. The reality is...
I don't care either.
Here's from Donald Trump in East Asia. Wars can be fought forever and very successfully using just these supplies, which are better than other countries' finest arms. These wars can be fought forever. F? Spoon?
No, it's OBS.
You're back?
Yeah, it's OBS. It's not mine.
Okay, sorry. Let me repeat. Donald Trump said on Truth Social, the United States munitions stockpiles have at a medium and upper grade never been higher or better. That is a demonstrable lie. We know the U.S. munition stocks have already run out, by the way, or on the verge of. As was stated to me today, we have virtually unlimited supply of these weapons. That is untrue. They do not have a unlimited supply of these weapons. And in fact, they are running out of them, particularly the interceptor missiles. Wars can be fought forever and very successfully using just these supplies for fucking ever war.
My God.
There it is.
My
forever war. Rubio is going to tell you as long as it takes.
My whole fucking family fought for this. I have family military history dating back to fucking George Washington, and this is what they died for? This bullshit?
Yeah, I do too.
I have family from World War I who came to Scandinavia on my grandmother's side and fought under Woodrow Wilson's plan for any immigrant who doesn't yet have a citizenship, who enlists in the army and fights in a foreign war. Your whole household will get citizen. They fought in that because they couldn't afford a citizenship and were desperate. They went overseas and killed some of my uncles who were fighting for the German Empire. For this?
Fuse, you're right. The entire saga is stretched across 3 fronts. That's true. They can't pile it all up without exposing the others. But the reality is that they have just exposed Taiwan. Now, we talked about it earlier, I don't know if Taiwan's going to be attacked. But if I were China, if I were Xi Jinping, now would be the time that I would attack Taiwan. And they have been building up forces there to do so. So we'll see. Trump, Many Too Shy for 10 says, Trump pussyfooted around with mass deportation because of polls. I'm going to get into that. Let's just talk about it now. But for war with Netanyahu, he's like, fuck the polls. Hooray for democracy. It's also tiresome. Indeed. Let's talk about that. The polls here are abysmal. They've gotten better after the mass propaganda campaign. And I don't know how accurate those polls are either. But the American people are writ large against this. Trump pulled ICE out of Minnesota because he said, "Oh, it's too harsh on the polling. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings." Domestically, he gave up the gauntlet. He didn't give a shit. But with this, when he's being directed by Bibi Netanyahu, by his true master, he doesn't give a fuck, does he, about the polls? And he said it directly. I'll show you in a minute. This being said, go ahead.
How much you want to bet that he pulled ICE out of Minnesota because some of the people ICE were arresting were doing the bidding of some of Israeli agents?
I don't think it has anything to do with that. It has to do with the fact that Trump only cares about being perceived positively until his master tells him what to do. So Marco Rubio told reporters there was absolutely an imminent threat from Iran. We'll do this as long as it takes to achieve its objectives. This, where's the date? Was on March 2nd. As long as it takes. You're going to have to stay fucking concerned. Because the reality is that it is a forever war. We are now in another fucking forever war. This is Representative Tom Burchett, Republican from Tennessee.
I was just going to ask, what do you say to MAGA voters who are concerned right now about another forever war, about Americans who are dying overseas and are being told to expect more attacks?
I would say stay concerned. I mean, be concerned, be vigilant, hold our feet to the fire, keep us honest on that issue.
I will, and you won't like it. Stay concerned, because this guy, Republican from Tennessee, knows it's about to be a forever war.
Trump's decisions on this?
Absolutely, man. Nobody's above your reproach. Just don't tell the president I said that.
I won't let him know, Mr. Burchett. I'm afraid he does. So the other thing is that this was done essentially, maybe not unconstitutionally, but it was done without the approval of Congress. Spoon and I are monarchists. We don't necessarily give a fuck about what democratically elected people think. But the reality is that this was done without the approval of Congress. And now Congress is fucking struggling to figure out what the fuck they're doing. And so here you have,
Of course they are.
Them going, we don't want to vote on it. We don't even want to vote on whether or not Trump has the capacity to do this. And because the Republicans control the House and the Senate, it means that they can really use their entire force to block votes on this. This is insane. I'm sorry. I know that this is what Nick Fuentes said, but I'm going to co-signal him. Do not fucking ever vote Republican again. Because this is what you get. Is now we can't even fucking vote on whether or not this clearly illegal, clearly unconstitutional war was clearly unconstitutional and illegal. We can't do that now. Don't vote for these people again. They're charlatans. They are snakes. Fuck them. I'm not saying vote Democrat, by the way. Fuck them too. They're in the same fucking shit, and if they were in power, they'd be doing the same goddamn thing. Fuck democracy. Fuck this entire goddamn paradigm. Fuck all of it. Don't allow yourself to become involved and invested into this nightmare situation where they put you into an us versus them paradigm, where the only true us versus them is us, the people, versus them, the elite, who hate and control you.
Remember the good old
Zero
days
fucking
when...
seats, indeed.
Yeah, remember back in the good old days when leaders of nations were seen as shepherds of the people rather than fucking jesters in a court dancing around like a bunch of fools hoping for
But
applause?
It was always this way. It's always been this way. At least for our lifetimes.
For our lifetime. I'm not talking about our lifetimes. I'm talking, fuck, go back to Charlemagne, Baldwin of Jerusalem, fucking Richard the Lionheart. Then again, Richard the Lionheart was out
That's a very
on
different
fucking
situation.
crusade.
Yeah. Anyway, here's this fucking loser.
The idea that a few colleagues here would try to move a war powers motion and resolution.
That's about voting on it, is what he's talking about. Oh, the idea that we might vote on it. That's terrible. Don't vote on it.
Now is dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Where Congress would vote to tell the commander-in-chief that he was no longer allowed to complete this mission. That would be a very dangerous thing. You see that...
Very dangerous to tell the commander-in-chief that he can't just declare war on a foreign fucking country. Lost Monster Man for 2 says, Senator Aiden Armstrong reporting for duty. Man, let's fucking go. I'm sick of this shit.
Iran is firing almost seemingly indiscriminately.
No, they're not firing indiscriminately. They are firing at U.S. bases in Arab countries that they perceive as traitors to their own nation. That they're not firing on. This is the biggest fucking retard L. Why the fuck is Iran attacking other Arab countries? No shit, they're attacking U.S. military bases, for fuck's sake. It's so fucking obvious what they're doing. Sorry, I asked Bill for a drink and he brought up my watermelon juice. Thank you, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Bill, he's not feeling well, so he's not on tonight.
You still made me get that shit.
I know, but thank you, Bill. Thank you. Well, I'm leg retarded, so everybody thank Bill for grabbing me watermelon juice so I can continue to talk without losing my
watermelon
fucking
juice.
voice. That's what it is. I drink watermelon juice. It's 'cause it's delicious and good. Anyway.
Are you sure you're not never mind.
What, an African American? No. I'm a proud Southerner. I'm from the U.S. South, and here's the thing: down the South, we love us.
See, Aiden,
it is embarrassing.
I'm from
Bill,
North
and
Carolina,
being
Aiden.
embarrassing.
You can't talk about the South. I'm from further south. Fuck off. Just because you're from the same place as Robert E. Lee, don't mean you're Southern.
I sure am. In fact, actually, I accidentally misposted on Twitter where I was born. I said I was born in Norfolk. I was born in Norton, Virginia. Not quite the same. The reality is, I don't give a shit about, I don't know. I don't give a shit about a whole bunch of stuff. And I certainly don't give a shit about these lies.
America, they're trying to...
Here's my relationship with the United States right now. I love the people of the United States. I love a lot of... Oh, fuck. I just slipped my mind. So the people, United States, South, North, whatever, I love them all except everybody who's a Green Bay fan. Fuck the Green Bay Packers. But I fucking loathe the United States government. I don't
loathe it inherent. I loathe what it has become.
Yeah, I get that. That would be a more accurate term, because I used to believe...
I don't hate Thomas Jefferson. I don't hate Alexander Hamilton. I don't hate necessarily all of the ideas that the founding fathers were trying to facilitate. I mean, I kind of do.
Want a democracy either.
Of course, that's why I don't disparage them. The reality, agents from everywhere. No, I'm not from everywhere. I'm everywhere I claim to be from is places I've lived in. I was born in Norton, Virginia. I grew up in West Virginia. I lived in Maryland. And if you look at where these states are on a map, if you're American, you understand they're all right in the same kind of fucking vicinity. So it's not that difficult to imagine someone moving between them. What is interesting, though, something I noticed, and I get this all the fucking time, is that on my Twitter account, I'm connected via the UK app, and I am based in Guernsey according to Twitter. And I want to say how much I fucking hate the American, like, I looked at your account and it says that you're not in the United States, so therefore you're not allowed to have an opinion on it. It's like, motherfucker, I'm an American. I'm just an expat. And it's fucking insane, because I'll say, like, hey, here's, I'll link them to this channel, to Broken Crown, and be like, there's hundreds of hours of me talking in my native American accent. And be like, you're just putting it on. Are you out of your fucking mind? When I started my channel, you go on my YouTube channel, I started before I fucking moved here. I'm just sick of these fucking lunatics, and they are lunatics, just being like, purity testing. Guess the fuck what? I'm an American, and I chose to leave. Get over it. Sorry.
Spoon mentioned this before. I think he mentioned it in a very recent video. But Americans, we have this very weird, hypocritical tendency of criticizing every other nation, but the moment anyone from those nations criticize us, we immediately become viciously defensive.
Yeah,
and it's
Spoon
so fucking annoying.
Spoon,
It is,
you want to talk about that criticism, because you're completely correct on that.
You are, and it pisses me off because I used to have that same hypocritical tendency.
Well, of course you did, but the idea that restate, please, Biscuit, if you don't mind, and for Spoon, now that he's woken up. Is that okay, Spoon? The kind of idea is that you can't criticize America if you're not an American, or if you're not an American living in America, of how absurdist of an idea that is. Spoon.
You claim you run the entire fucking world. If you claim you run the world and you think you're better than everyone else is going to chime in and tell you to fuck off. If you disagree with that, fuck off.
The rest of the world is allowed to commentate on your bullshit.
Yeah,
and,
you're invading my fucking country, but then I'm not allowed to have an opinion on yours. Get fucked.
The other thing
if you're allowed to have an opinion on every other nation in the world, every nation in the world is allowed to have an opinion on you.
Indeed. Particularly when you're world hegemon. And from my perspective, it's like, look, what did I do? I moved back to the land of my ancestors. Okay? I think I did like the based thing. Meanwhile, all of these fucking islands are being invaded by third worlders. Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck around with this bullshit. I know what I'm doing, and I'm just so irritated by this shit. Anywho, we got through that. We actually got through most of that clip. The reality is that they tried to kind of stop the vote, as you heard there. Oh, don't vote on it because we don't really know what's happening anyway. The Senate rejects war powers resolution that would force Trump to end war in Iran. That means we're going to keep going ahead because, as I fucking said, this is a bipartisan agreement. The Democrats are also paid by Israel. They are also on board with this fucking insane, prophetic nonsense war. Senate rejects resolution to force Trump to end Iran strikes. These things happened today, by the way. It's not going to end. It is not going to be a couple of days. It's going to go on for months, years, potentially. And the reality is that I've gone through every explanation that has been made as to why this is happening, and none of them made any sense, which leaves this one. Is the timing of the U.S.-Israel war on Iran connected to a Jewish festival? This is from the New Arab, to be fair.
Oh, Jesus.
The U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran comes just days before Purim, Purim, prompting questions about whether the timing of the assault has any symbolic religious significance and if PM Netanyahu has tried to hijack an ancient Jewish tradition linked to charity and compassion. Purim begins on February 2nd, commemorates the biblical story of the Book of Esther, set in the Achaemenid Persian Empire in the 5th century. In the narrative, Haman, a senior official in the Persian court, plots to annihilate the Jews of the empire. Queen Esther intervenes and decrees it is overturned, and the Jewish population survives. A holiday celebrates that survival. The geographical symmetry is striking. The Purim story takes place in ancient Persia, the civilization from which modern Iran traces much of its historical identity. The Israeli attacks target the Islamic Republic of Iran. The festival begins in 2 days. This was as of the 28th, so several days ago. We are now in Purim. The Israeli government's previously been known to draw on biblical language and historical memory in naming or framing military operations. When Israel launched a full-scale invasion of Gaza City in May of last year, they called it Operation Gideon's Chariots, referring to the ancient biblical warrior who led a few chosen to annihilate the Midianites, an ancient Arab people. Religious imagery has periodically appeared in political rhetoric, particularly among nationalist factions. In that context, an operation against Iran, which is called Persia until 1935, on the eve of Purim, inevitably resonates. Understand, by the way, is that from the Israeli perspective, they are called by God to eliminate Purim, the Persians. They are called by God, they believe, to do this. Everything that is happening is being done in the name of some fucking insane, ludicrous religious bullshit, and they admit to it. They don't even give a fuck. They just say it outright. This is about their crazy fucking insane religious nonsense. Here's Netanyahu himself saying it. He's speaking in Israeli, so I'll just tell you. We go out and smite out. In this week, you read the Torah's portion. Remember what Amalek did to you. Amalek are the Persians. Amalek are the Persians in their ancient fucking historical prophecy. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all they have, and spare them not, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. Kill every last living thing.
That's a long-winded way of saying genocide, but okay.
Oh, but trust me, it's fine when they do it. It's also fine when they lock you up in internment camps. By the way, we'll get to that. Danny Danson, you'll hear this one in English. Israel's ambassador to the UN cites it specifically.
The story of Purim happened more than 2,500 years ago, in the same place, in ancient Persia. An evil minister by the name of Haman sought to wipe out the Jewish people. And it began with words, with chants. It became a decree. It could have become a genocide. But Queen Esther refused to remain silent.
Why the fuck is this guy talking about this in the UN? Why the fuck?
She stepped forward. She spoke up. She acted before it was too late. That is a lesson we learned. It is not only an ancient lesson. It is a modern one. Last week, I stood at the gates of Auschwitz with that.
Of course, you mentioned the
I'm about to lose my fucking mind.
Thousands of UN ambassadors. We stood in a place that shows what happens when radicalism and extremism grows and no one stops it in time.
Then someone
you are radical.
Stop you
are
retard.
Extremists. Yeah, you're a religious extremist. You need to be stopped by your own fucking words. Because you're religious insane extremists who believe that it's the time of Purim, so we have to enact war on Amalek. Iran. This is based on like 3,000-year-old fucking. Not that old, actually. In fact, their religion is far newer than the religion of Persia. And I don't mean Islam. I mean Zoroastrianism, and I mean their ancient fucking host religions, their ancient national religions and faiths. Iran is a far older fucking civilization. It's one of the oldest contiguous civilizations on planet Earth. They are older than you. Fuck off.
Before the Holocaust, some leaders, serious leaders, believed that they could calm aggression with concessions. They were completely wrong. Giving in did not stop evil. It strengthened it.
Nothing's gonna stop evil on your side now, will it?
No, he's using. He's fucking. This is a roundabout way of saying, oh, we gotta stop extremism by genociding people who wronged us 3,000 years ago. Fuck right off. The whole notions. This is basically the sins of the father being paid for by the blood of the sons, which is exactly why World War II fucking happened.
It's very true. I saw someone bring this up in the chat. I'm gonna just I'm gonna play this. Me, mum died in the Holly, because it's every fucking time with these people. Every fucking time. Where's the me mum died in the Holly video?
Aiden.
Oh no.
It's a really.
Yeah, Spoon.
It's a really fucking funny video.
3 minutes because it's 1 a.m.
Okay, Spoon, I'm gonna keep going.
Good luck with that.
Spoon, are you really gonna go to sleep?
It's 1 a.m., Aiden.
Okay, okay. This actually works out. This works out. All right, hang on. We're about a quarter of the way through my presentation here, lads.
Damn.
Spoon. Yeah. I've been saving shit the whole fucking week. I hate these motherfuckers. I hate what they do to Christians. I'll put it to you this way. I have a lot to go on about this. Spoon wants to go to sleep, apparently quite early. That's fine.
What do you mean? Did you
It's
realize
11
we
p.m.
started at 9 p.m.? Yeah, I'm 2 hours ahead of you.
I know. Okay. So, Spoon, would you give me a little bit of time on the weekend? Because I want to promote my new channel there as well and get more people subscribed to it and show you like what I'm going to be doing with it. So, how about that, Spoon? I'll table this and we'll continue the insane deconstruction of all of the false narratives revolving the Iran war. Although Iraq war is also involved in it as well. We'll do that on the weekend. Spoon, will you do it with me on Saturday or Sunday?
Maybe.
Spoon. Onegai shimasu ka?
Okay, I'm not a weeb. That doesn't work on me.
Onegai.
This might work in the audience.
Onegai, Spoon-kun. Do it. Do it with me on Sunday. Yeah?
Okay.
Okay, Spoon's agreed. All right, we're gonna finish this stuff on Sunday then. Spoon is very sleepy, so we're gonna let him go to sleep. Thank you all so much for showing up.
Just let you go. Hold on.
I could do it on my own, but I'd much rather prefer to have you here, Spoon. You're my bestie. Spoon, you're my bestie. Ooh woo.
Also, Dovin's Flashcast is different because Flashcast starts at 6, and that's when I wake up.
That's when he wakes up. Yeah, it's in the morning for him. It's very different. Don't get mad at Spoon over this. It's literally quite late for him in South Africa. R745 says, hot take, but we should stop being friends with Israel, install the Shah, Iran, Persia. I've told you why I'm against that. It's because he's a U.S. and therefore Israeli-backed puppet. And should support Iranian Persian stability. I do agree with that part. That being said, Spoon, Before we go, I will just post this one more time, which is a link to the new channel. And we'll see you all. Spoon, please do it with me. We'll go ahead on this weekend. We'll finish the Iran coverage because I'm
not a
furious.
Debuff, it's
Trust
time
me.
Zones.
I'll be just as furious on Sunday. Don't worry. My rage towards this fucking Hebraic nonsense will not be silenced. Anywho, because Spoon is a sweepy, eepy, weepy Spoon. We're gonna go to sleep. All right, guys. Take care. Good night.
Good
Bye.
Nacht.